yet, we need to carry on. But having Glos, such a big club to support this kind of movement, it's so incredible to go through the whole thing.
Great stuff. Final question, who's going to win tonight?
Glos, obviously.
Can we turn to Alfred agrees? Great to see Alfred. There you go. Matchday game 2. That's made. Thanks ever so much. I really appreciate your time. Have a great day, guys. In Bristol. And a big thanks to everyone at game 2. What a fantastic initiative it is. We're proud to support it. Part of the family here at Gloucestershire. As our guard of honour from Tockington Manor School. Give them a round of applause. Okay, it's almost time for blast off.
Good afternoon. If you've just joined us on the Gloucestershire live stream, welcome to the Seat Unique Stadium for this afternoon's match in the Blast against our friends from Worcestershire. The Rapids have won 2, drawn 2 and lost 2 in the Championship, but in this competition they have only played 4 games as opposed to Gloucestershire's 5. Their last game in this first block is at Northampton on Tuesday, and they've won 3 out of 4 already, so they will not be easy opposition this afternoon for Gloucestershire. Gloucestershire then trying to get to 20 points at the halfway stage, and the important news to tell you at this stage is that Jack Taylor won the toss and elected to bat this afternoon. I'll give you the Worcestershire team and Phil O'Rourke can give you the Gloucestershire side. So Worcestershire have picked the same team for the 5th game in a row. Isaac Mohammed, the young left-hander, and Brett D'Oliveira will open the batting. D'Oliveira captain of course. Kashi Valley, Adam Hose, the pair at the top of the order. Ethan Brooks, whose brother Henry was here on loan earlier in the season. Sikandar Raza, the first of their spinners who will pose quite a threat, you fear, this afternoon. Gareth Roderick, former Gloucestershire keeper, batting at 7. Matthew Waite, who was at Yorkshire, the all-rounder. Osama Mia, the second spinner, played T20 international cricket for Pakistan. Tom Taylor, much vaunted, former Northants all-rounder, probably share the new ball. And Adam Finch, who turned his ankle on Friday, but has been past fit to play today. So the same 11 again for Worcestershire. The bowlers, yes, Brooks has bowled a little bit, but basically it's the 2 spinners plus Taylor, Finch and Waite. Those are the likely Worcestershire bowlers. Umpires today Jack Shantry and Ian Blackwell, and Phil has news of the Gloucestershire 11.
There is one change from the Gloucestershire 11, from the 11 that played at Somerset on Friday night, and Cameron Darrowell returns to the 11 in place of Craig Miles. So Gloucestershire from the top are Miles Hammond and Darcy Short, Joe Phillips at 3, and they could come out in any order, but it's going to be Jack Taylor, Ollie Price, Ben Charlesworth, Cameron Darrowell, Duan Janssen, Matt Taylor, James Bracey and Martian Delanger.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fairly fluid order after you get past number 3. Almost anybody could come out 4, 5, 6, 7 if needed. Jack Taylor at the toss, Phil, said that he wanted a bat because he thought the pitch might slow up a bit, as this was now a pitch that's had 160 overs on it already.
Yes, and it's with that in mind, it looks like a wise decision to make, and it's whatever happens, it's going to be a great game. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, Worcestershire obviously have a bit of history in the competition. They were finalists in 2020 when they lost to Notts, winners back in 2003, but in recent years, if you go beyond the COVID years, they've lost the semi-final twice to Somerset, 2023 and 2024. I can't think what happened to Somerset in that 24 final.
Escapes the mind somehow.
Yeah. Steve Davies is our match referee, and Worcestershire in their very colourful kit come out into the field led by Brett D'Oliveira. If you haven't seen the shirt before, it's reminiscent of what you might call a mosaic in a stained glass window, and that's fine. It's a very attractive design, and apparently the club say it's done very well commercially. But it's mighty hard to read the numbers, so our apologies if we do pick a wrong fielder for a shot at any point.
Absolutely do our best.
Gloucestershire's openers on their way. It is an overcast afternoon, but it is a little milder than it was on Friday night. And around about 3,000 is seemingly the estimate on the likely crowd here today. So the two left-handers for Gloucestershire are going to open, Miles Hammond and Darcy Short. Gareth Roddick's going to be standing up at the start of this match. And Tom Taylor's going to open the bowling for Worcestershire, and Phil will take the first over from the far end.
So Taylor standing at the top of his mark, just waiting for the countdown to start.
Enjoy the game.
Kashi Valley in at slip.
And here we go. So Miles Hammond will be taking the first ball. Taylor still at the top of his mark. Here he comes. Kept low, and Hammond left it, and it went straight through to keeper Roderick.
That was quite wide, actually. I'm surprised that Jack Shantry didn't call that as a wide. That looked as if it was, if it wasn't on the line, the blue line that you see, it was very close to it, but perhaps if he adopts the same consistency, that's all we ask for.
So Taylor again, top of his mark from the Ashley Down Road end. Hammond facing and gets bat on it this time, and there's a quick run, and Gloucestershire are away.
I tend to say this is an obvious selection, but for Worcestershire, no surprise that the two men out are at deep cover and at deep mid wicket and deep backward point. So Darcy Short, if his pattern is to be followed from 2025, he took some time to get going, but there was a regular series of scores once he did, and he's had now scores in the last two games. So can he back that up again?
Taylor to Short, and he's bowled him. Taylor beats the bat, and off stump is ripped out of the ground. And
so you put a player on a pedestal like that, and that's exactly what happens as a commentator. But that's how far up the stump did this hit? That's the point.
Top.
Yeah, that's a good delivery. You just beaten a little bit for pace more than anything else, or misjudgment of pace. So Short goes, and Joe Phillips in at number 3 for only his third T20 game, only his third blast game. He did play in that match against the New Zealand Tourists. So a contribution up at Leeds, but a bit scratchy on Friday. Here's another look at that dismissal of Darcy Short.
Yeah, beaten for pace. And
I think it probably didn't get up as much as he thought, because that suggestion of that body language after the dismissal was that kept low, but it didn't quite keep as low perhaps as
he was making out.
He was making out.
Yeah. So
now the left and right hand combination.
So new batsman Joe Phillips facing Tom Taylor from the Ashley Down Road end. That was wide of the off stump, and Taylor plays that out to deep point. Phillips.
So that might change Miles Hammond's approach a little bit, the loss of short early on. You know, Miles is very much an aggressor as an opener, doesn't often necessarily think too much about playing the longer game, the more studied role.
Taylor to Hammond then, and Hammond plays that straight past the bowler, and that's 4 runs.
There you are. Nothing studied about that at all, other than the fact it was a textbook shot from a ball in the slot.
Straight out the middle, beautiful on drive.
Shorter boundaries, of course, here at Bristol. Straight rather than square, which are the much longer ones.
Taylor again then to Hammond, and plays and miss, and taken by the keeper.
He's a bit of an under the radar kind of cricketer, Tom Taylor. When he was at Northants, he very nearly won a 50 over game up at the Cheltenham Festival when they were a long way behind in terms of runs and wickets down. He was batting down at number 8 and got them very, very close before he himself was out. And obviously he is, in the main, a bowler, but he's no mug with the bat either. And a wicket for him in the first over. Matthew Waite is going to share the new ball with him. Still the slip in. And Phillips has just got a man out at backward point to contend with on the offside. A little bit of swing for Waite from the arm, from the hand, rather than having delivered the ball. And Phillips just pushes that via a pad out of the offside. So D'Oliveira is at short extra. It was nice to see Gareth Roderick back here in Bristol. That gave good service for Gloucestershire. Wait, slightly unusual approach to the wicket, and he bowls to Phillips, who pushes a single up to mid-off. His run isn't absolutely straight, Wait, is he? He sort of almost goes sort of left and right, and then as if he's sidestepping somebody on a rugby field, and then his run straightens up. He's probably got some story about he had to run around a tree in his garden when he was a boy or something. Well, that's the Dan Worrell story, isn't it? Why he's got a slightly curved run.
Yeah, it's to people of a certain age, it'd be a Graham Gooch impression of Bob Willis, but coming at an angle.
Hammond just wants to get a bit of debris off the wicket. Gloucestershire batting first, having won the toss today. Jack Taylor deciding to take first use of this pitch, which is now being used for a third different day. Wait, comes in past umpire Blackwell, and it's squeezed away by Hammond. That will go for 4. The long chase for Raspberry, won't pick it, won't haul it in, and away to the mound stand for boundary to Miles Hammond. Difficult to know on this pitch what a really good score would be. Jack Taylor said post-match on Friday he thought that 170 would have been a real challenge to get. So I guess with another day on, that might come down a little bit. But that's where Gloucestershire have got to try and get to. Changing the field, they brought a mid-wicket inside the circle to allow to have an extra man on the offside, outside it. That's squeezed away for no run by Hammond. So you've got third man and fine leg both up. Deep square on the leg side, but a massive gap over the short mid-wicket, who is probably only 20 yards from the bat, maybe a little more than that. It's quite some way inside the circle. Wait. And clipped on the bounce. Too short mid-wicket.
Waite is getting shape on the ball there, and it's a discernible in-swinger to the left-hander, which brings LBW into play. The ball's not going across the left-hander, it's pitching and coming back into the stumps, coming back into the legs of Miles Hammond.
That's a change. They put that mid-wicket back on the edge now. He's just wringing his hand after that last shot. Outside the off-stump, slower ball from Waite. Gloucester can just pick up a single out to Osama Mia, who does the fielding. So 12 for 1 off 2.
Gloucestershire 12 for 1 after 2 overs.
On Friday, Somerset ended up getting 137 with a very good bowling performance by Gloucestershire and a bit of a late rally after they lost early wickets in the power play. We saw this morning in the women's game how early wickets in the power play really influence things, and that's why Hammond and Short have just got to, Hammond and Phillips rather, just got to stabilise things a little bit.
Tom Taylor then from the Ashley Down Road end, and Hammond just gets bat on that. It goes nowhere and is fielded by the infielders, the close infielders around the bat.
It will be fascinating to see how the timing changes, if it does, on this pitch as we go through this match. So One Day International played on it last weekend, Saturday, and then the double-header played on it on Friday and the women's game this morning.
Taylor. And Hammond squeezing it out to square leg off the inside edge of the bat. And there's one run there.
That's Kashi Valley out there, I think. So, sorry, Throdrick helping his skipper with trying to point to the field changes. Only 2 inside the circle on the leg side. It's a 6-3 field for Taylor.
Taylor in.
Sorry, Phil.
Sorry. Taylor in again, and Phillips tried forcing that away through mid-on, but was stopped. And there was no run there.
I'll take the slip out now. Decided that they do need a man at mid-wicket. They're trying to force Phillips to play in that orthodox area on the offside.
Taylor from the Ashley Down Road end. Phillips plays and misses, and it's no run.
Yeah, I might just have a word with him here.
It's a good tight start by Worcestershire, and Phillips just needs to take his time. There's 120 balls in T20 cricket, so there is time just to see what the ball's doing a bit and then play his shots afterwards. And he's dabbed that down through vacant third for 4 runs.
It's a better shot. It's a more orthodox shot from Phillips. No need to really charge and use his feet in this, only the 3rd over. He's far happier playing that more orthodox shot away from fielder at deep backward point.
He was playing it late and just waiting the ball comes to him, wasn't he? It was.
So we've now got back to 3rd man and fine leg up for Tom Taylor. Still in the power play, obviously, so they've got to be a little bit careful about how many fielders outside the circle. And with Phillips now, they've put an extra man out on at a straightish mid-wicket on the fence and a backward point inside the circle. Phillips goes over, or tries to get over him, and it's caught. That was the fielder that they moved, and Phillips couldn't get it over Sikandar Raza. That is under that catch, I think. And Gloucestershire lose their second wicket. Oh, it's Mohammed, the opener, in fact, who's taken the catch. And Gloucestershire is 17 for 2.
Yeah, Joe Phillips just struggled there to settle down, and a similar type of innings that he played on Friday night, and he goes for a similar score.
So we said this was a fluid batting order for Gloucestershire. Ben Charlesworth in at number 4. So Jack Taylor batted at 4 on Friday, but in a very different situation. And that wicket coming at the end of the 3rd over. And a bowling change for Worcestershire now at the Bristol Pavilion end. Adam Finch to come into the attack for the first time. Hammond to face him. Squeezed away on the onside. Worcestershire will think, right, 2 wickets in the power play, that's about par. We can get nip out one more. They're getting into a position of strength.
Yeah, Gloucestershire just
on this Bristol pitch. Hammond, oh, he's nicked that, and it's gone for 4 over Gareth Roderick. On another day, that might have been a top edge that Roderick might have caught, but it was just high enough. He stood quite a long way back as it is, and Hammond gets 4 more, take him on to 12. Oh, that's Charlesworth, I do apologise. To take advantage of that. He started with a streakier shot. Get 1 here, up to mid-off. So Taylor, who has taken the new ball for Worcestershire in every game, 2 overs, 2 for 11. I wonder whether D'Oliveira will risk 1 more from him. Finch again, and that's helped on its way helpfully, and that's gone for 6. That is Miles Hammond, and he's picked the shortest boundary there to a short ball from Adam Finch out towards the players' friends and family marquee. 1 bounce into the seating in front of the apartments. Still fine leg is up. Finch again, bowled
in.
So Hammond goes now as well, and Worcestershire's strength of bowling straight here. Was he got that off an inside edge? It was quite a big inside edge actually. Off stump, absolutely cartwheeling away, and Hammond trudges off, and 29 for 3. And Worcestershire 3 wickets in the first 4 overs have taken a grip on this, even though Gloucestershire are scoring quite quickly.
Yep, there's nothing wrong with Gloucestershire's run rate at the moment, 7.6 and over, but it's an early concern is the loss of wickets. And Jack Taylor joining Ben Charlesworth now to see if there's a rebuild on the way, consolidate for an over or 2, and then rebuild the innings.
So again, he was on 4 on Friday. He was read out on the card today as number 7, and here he is at number 5. but it's still the right and left-hand combination with Charlesworth at the other end. So, but 2 dismissals bowled in the first 4 overs. I'll say that was a big inside edge off Hammond's bat, but Shorts definitely wasn't. So here is Taylor facing Finch, and that's driven pleasantly away, and that may go for 4. Matthew Waite's been beaten by it, and it will run up towards the boundary in front of the club offices, and it will go for 4.
Lovely cover drive for your first.
It's in the slot, so plenty happening in Finch's first over. It cost 16, but it did have the wicket of Hammond in it, and that's the thing from Worcestershire's point of view. That they've got Gloucestershire 3 down. I think they're going to keep Taylor on for a 3rd over, and which is no surprise given he's got 2 wickets already.
No, and
we've got to be careful. There are too many Taylors on the pitch here, so it's a commentator problem.
So Tom Taylor to Ben Charlesworth, and Taylor bowling his 3rd over of the innings. And Charlesworth forces that away behind square on the leg side, and that's running down towards fine leg, but is cut off by deep backward square. That looks like Kashif Ali. And they ran 2. So just a little bit of a rebuild needed now by Gloucestershire, just to keep it steady, try and not lose any more wickets and just rebuild as Tom Taylor comes in from the Ashley Down Road end, and again Charlesworth just knocks that into the leg side for 1.
He got 49 up at Northampton, but that was in a situation where Gloucestershire couldn't cope with Chris Lynn in particular, but he's been scoring runs pretty freely throughout this tournament. But that's been his biggest contribution so far, a 49. Could do with something of that order here this afternoon.
So Tom Taylor at the top of his mark. Jack Taylor just inspecting the field, just checking the fielders in the deep. And here comes Tom Taylor now. And it's a nice 4 defensive for no run.
In the house soon after the power play, we'll see the Worcestershire spinners.
Taylor taking his guard, waiting for Tom Taylor to come in from the Ashley Down Road end. He's in and he bowls, and Taylor knocks that straight over mid wicket, and that is a 1 bounce, 2 bounce, 3 bounce, 4.
So there is a gap out in front of that beige friends and family marquee. Taylor going from outside the off stump, trusting his judgment of the length. Forcing D'Oliveira to put an extra player now out on the leg side.
That's Kashif Ali coming inside the ring at point. And Tom Taylor to Jack Taylor. And Jack Taylor knocks that behind square on the leg side. And the batters run through for 1.
Yeah, with the left-hander back on strike, Kashif retreats again back to deep square. Taylor's Tom, that is, consistently going round the wicket to the left-handers and over the wicket to the right-handers, so he's not as if he's doing anything particularly unorthodox with his angle of approach.
Yep. Here is Tom Taylor to Ben Charlesworth for the first time in this over. And Taylor, Charlesworth, sorry, running through for 1, nearly got that through the infield. But
it's a good start. on the bounce.
On Sunday, 26th of July, Gloucestershire host Kent.
And 5 overs gone. So Tom Taylor has bowled 3. He's taken 2 wickets, but he's only got 1 over up his sleeve now for later on. And Worcestershire are going to make it seem throughout the power play, because Matthew Waite is going to come back after Finch's over was expensive. He's going to bowl the last over of the power play. 9 off that last over. Charlesworth on strike. Oh, almost a full toss, and very nearly a catch in the retreat to Ethan Brooks at mid-off, coming outside the circle. He didn't get a hand to it in the end, but a certain element of risk, and sometimes you sling out an arm and those stick, but it didn't on that occasion. Charlesworth waits for Waite. Wants a single straight away, and it's good running. Jack Taylor answered the call, and Charlesworth got down the other end, even though the fielder at mid-off, inside the circle, the ball going directly to him. Waite wants a change in the field on the offside. I think he's going to bring the deep point up inside the circle and drop out an extra player on the onside. So he's now got a long on and a deep square for Jack Taylor. And that's full, and Taylor just plays that off his toes out to that boundary rider in front of the scoreboard. The run rate is high, but the wickets column is not what Gloucestershire would want at this point.
Yeah, that's a little concern at the moment. The wickets.
It's certainly 1 too many, and it's probably 2 more than they'd ideally like.
Yep.
Waite to Charlesworth, and that's full, almost Yorks him. And that's well kept out. Jack Taylor wants something from the dressing room. The other is wearing a sweater and doesn't want it anymore. Or he's finding it cold and he wants one. And Blackwell standing at this Bristol Pavilion end. Waite pushes himself off on that run. That's clipped away by Charlesworth. Oh, that's almost a very good stop on the boundary, but it's beaten the fielder at deep square and it's gone for 4. That was travelling, Phil, at quite some rate.
Great shot by Charlesworth. That brings up the Gloucestershire 50 in the last over of the power play.
Could also have been a smother of a stop, that, but he
was very close to it, wasn't he?
Yeah, but it was travelling so quickly. 1 ball left, assuming it's not a no ball or a wide of the power play. Charlesworth on to 16. And again, another attempted Yorker by Waite, which is squeezed out for a single. So 51 for 3 at the end of the power play. Taylor 3 overs, 2 for 20. Waite 1 over for 4. Oh, wait, on my screen hasn't updated. That should say 1 over for 16. Sorry, Waite 1 over for 15. Get that right in a minute. And Finch 1 over, 1 for 16. So, end of the power play. The arrival of spin, unsurprisingly.
Not Gloucestershire's most productive power play of the T20 campaign so far, but certainly 51 for 3 is reasonably healthy.
So,
anything over 50.
Osama Mia.
Played off the back foot.
This is where Worcestershire might hope, if they have Sikandar Raza bowling with him, to get a bit of control.
Mere to Charlesworth. And Charlesworth straight over the bowler's head. That's high. It's very handsome, and that's 6 runs.
It's a clean hit from Ben Charlesworth. Shorter boundary, obviously, at that end.
Yeah, just
used his feet there.
A couple of steps down. And, yeah.
Got to the pitch of the ball.
Mere again. It's Charlesworth. And that was more leg side this time. Got the inside of the bat. It's going out into the space there. Long on is just coming around doing the fielding. And Charlesworth is back for 2.
Wasn't the control in that shot that there was in the previous one. It's a fairly big gap there, so I suppose he would have said it's a calculated gamble.
Mere. And off the back foot this time through extra cover for 4. That was a great shot by Charlesworth.
Which proves he can go front foot or back. Just literally swayed back there. Didn't he have a lot of foot movement? Just gave himself the room by getting his top half of his body out of the way.
Mere again from the Ashley Down Road end. And played and missed that time, and Roderick takes a high take up in his chest area, midriff.
I was talking to somebody from Worcestershire earlier today that says that he's got a lot of varieties, Mere, including that one.
Here's Mere again. It's Charlesworth, and just plays that out gently for 1. And long off is just coming in to complete the fielding. That's the end of the over.
Yeah, 13 off the over.
13 off the over.
That's a good response from Gloucestershire. They've taken 22 off the last 2. And that's been a bit of a counter punch, if you like, against the loss of those 3 early wickets. Now, Brett D'Oliveira hasn't bowled in this tournament so far. He would represent a 3rd spin option, but we're going to have Sikandar Raza first, unsurprisingly, from this Bristol Pavilion end. So off breaks for him, spinning away from the left-hander, clipped away by Charlesworth into a gap. And they want 2, and they've done well to get 2.
That's good running.
Not the best of throws out there by, I think that might be Isaac Mohammed out there, but he's a long way from our commentary point, and he's wearing a cap, and we can't see his shirt number. So Raza in again to Charles, goes deep into his crease and takes a single up to Adam Finch. There's a little bit of footage of Raza bowling on Friday in the match against Warwickshire, and he can mix things up a bit as well. Taylor will take strike to him. You can't see the ball really from that delivery action until the last moment. Taylor thought there was a single there, but Sikandar Raza fields off his own bowling.
Yeah, Mia's got Raza even has that kind of action where he's hiding the ball behind his arm, behind his back until the last possible moment. Little skip at the start of his run. That's quite short, and Taylor has to go back and defend. He's played well over 100 T20 internationals for Zimbabwe, and he's played over 350 games of this format all told, so lack of know-how is not one of his issues. And again, chopped away by Taylor. He's having had runs taken off the first 2 balls. He's come back with 3 dots, so that's a good response from him. Yeah, ball hidden right at the back of his approach to the wicket, and Taylor tries to whip that. That's straight, but didn't get up very much. He's pulled that out to deep mid wicket, and he'll take a comfortable single. So only 4 off the over, and that's a better over from Worcestershire's point of view
having had an expensive one first up from Osama at the other end. The break somewhat applied by Sikandar Raza. There's the Manhattan with the expensive overs and the cheap ones. And the wickets for Gloucestershire. Short, bowled by Taylor, first ball for naught. Phillips caught by Kashif off Taylor for 6, and then Hammond bowled off a big inside edge by Finch for 18. The last wicket fell at 29.
And Nizam Amir has been taken out of the attack, and we are back with Adam Finch bowling from the Ashley Down road end. 1 for 16 off his first over, and he's bowling to Jack Taylor. It's a play and a miss, and fielded comfortably by Gareth Roderick.
I wonder if, I mean, that was an expensive first over. I wonder if Worcestershire think maybe that the bounce is more variable from the bowling at that end. I'm just offering that as a theory.
It could be. Could be.
Things, having seen what happened to the ball that got short out.
Yep. Here we go. There's Finch again. And another play and miss. It's quite wide that time. And Jack Taylor just pointing that out to the umpire.
There we are. There's the line ump. It was
not been given as wide, I don't think.
No, it was right. He thought it was outside the line. I think at second look it was probably right on it. So
yeah. And the line is the umpire's. So Finch again. And third play and miss straight through to the keeper. So great bowling for by Finch, keeping the scoring down.
Change of approach somewhat. He's gone much shorter from that far end of the ground.
Taylor making his feelings known to the umpire that there could have been a wide.
4 out on the leg side for Finch.
Here's Finch again. And that's the fourth play and miss of the over.
In different ways, though. That was an attempted, pull into that big space on the leg side. I'm not sure there was probably anything more than one there, because they're equally spaced, those fielders. Fairly fine leg, fairly fine, deep backward square, straightish mid wicket, and a long off.
Here's Finch again to Jack Taylor. And Jack Taylor gets bat on ball this time, and that goes out to mid wicket, and there is 1 run.
Yeah, that was struck too firmly to get any more than 1 really there. For Charlesworth, of course, they've got it is the slightly shorter boundary towards the Kennington Avenue side of the ground. So Charlesworth has got the longer leg side here. Are they going to adopt the same strategy for him? They are, I think.
So Finch coming into Charlesworth. And Charlesworth just backing away and just knocking that out to mid-off for no run. 1 off the over for Finch, and Gloucestershire are 69 for 3 at the end of the 9th.
Good comeback from Adam Finch. We're live here from the Seat Unique Stadium, as it says in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Gloucestershire against the Worcestershire Rapids in this Vitality Blast game. Round 6 for Gloucestershire of 12, and for Worcestershire round 5 of 12. There are their figures so far. 5 bowlers used, and unless Ethan Brooks is used, these are going to be the 5 that Worcestershire stick with. That's what they've been doing in the main so far in the tournament. Here is Raza in with a short ball that Jack Taylor punches away to deep point for a single. Although he's ostensibly a spinner, he's not afraid, is he, to fire a quicker one in.
Absolutely right.
Charlesworth. Raza comes round the wicket, and Charlesworth says, "No, I've got to take a single, thanks. We've just had an over where we've only got 1 run. I just need to keep the scoreboard ticking up again." Halfway at the end of this over. Taylor's stance to Raza is quite open. Waits for that. Cuts it away, but again there is a boundary rider at deep cover. There'll only be a single. I think Worcestershire happy with singles at the moment. What they're trying to do is to stop the boundaries against the spinners. Charlesworth fakes rather again. That's cut and a good stop. Matthew Waite is the fielder at short third. Again, only be one. And I suppose, Phil, to a point, Gloucestershire don't mind, say, 3 or 4 overs like this with singles off every ball, but they ought to be going a bit quicker than that afterwards. And Taylor scampers through for another single as that's forced away into the offside.
It keeps the scoreboard ticking over, Ian, and now probably isn't the time to go big, and so just keeping it ticking over and going at 7.5 and over towards halfway through the innings.
Charles waits for Raza. Again, deep in his crease, tries to place it so they can get 2, and they'll risk a second run, and they'll take a second run.
Good running.
It's better placement, better strength of shot to ask the fielder to come onto the ball and then just get it away. So 7 off the over, 76 for 3 at halfway. Worcestershire definitely with a strong power play, 3 wickets in the power play. Gloucestershire 25 in the last 5 overs. And there's some fresh gloves and a towel being brought out, probably with a message, I would suspect, from the coaching panel, apart from anything else.
Keep it going, keep it tight.
What they're seeing.
Yeah, go big.
There's Alfred down at the Ashley Down Road end of the ground. Now, Charlesworth, having got to this point, 37 off 22.
In the blink of an eye.
He's got to try and go on and make a serious contribution here. He's got his captain with him.
So Mere to Taylor, for Mere from the Ashley Down Road end, and Taylor just works that into the leg side. Deep mid wicket is running in, and it's only the one, keeps it down to 1. Good fielding.
Adam Hose is the fielder out there. And he's being dispatched again to the rope as D'Oliveira brings another play onto the leg side for Charlesworth.
So
onto the offside, rather.
Mere over the wicket to Charlesworth, and Charlesworth plays off the back foot for no run.
And that's where D'Oliveira wanted to be. Stop that sort of backing away and forcing away through the offside.
Mere. That's forced off the back foot, and that's going to be cut off by long off for just the 1 run. By altering the angle he could play that shot, he forced him to go down the ground, didn't quite get the power on it, and as a result, only 1 run. Late adjustments to the field as Mere comes into Jack Taylor. And Jack Taylor takes that through mid-wicket, and that's 4 runs, 1 bounce 4 over towards the Jack Russell stand.
That was another one of those where you get the front foot out of the way.
That brings up the 50 partnership between Jack Taylor and Ben Charlesworth. Charlesworth has 38 of those. And Taylor goes again, and this time he's got the half dozen. That's 6.
And it's been a pursuit of primary school age children looking for the ball.
And I think they found it. Over by the burger vans, over by the Greek stall there.
Now, the idea is you don't take it home with you. You return it
Come back
to the field of play so that we can get on with the game.
Can we have our ball back, please?
Thank you very much. 2 good blows by Taylor in this over.
So Taylor just adjusting the straps on his gloves.
So 12 already. You know, don't lose the momentum by gifting the wicket away.
Here comes Mir, and Taylor's just knocked that straight in the air, and Roderick is underneath it and takes a comfortable catch.
He'll be irritated beyond measure by that. We've just gone 4-6. There was no need, in a way, to play a really big shot off the last ball. Tried to have another go, up it steeples, and Roderick, although it took some time to get into the right position, he wasn't going to drop that.
No. Taylor goes for 26, and just as he seemed to be getting going, a top edge as one skies it, and Roderick takes the comfortable catch. And at the end of 11 overs, Gloucestershire are 88 for 4.
So Ollie Price coming in at number 6. So I think we know the order from here. We would think Bracey, Darawal, Janssen, Matt Taylor and De Lange. You would think from here, but 88 for 4. It's the wickets column that Gloucestershire have to be careful about.
9 overs to go, and it's be mindful of the wickets that you're losing, but I suppose Gloucestershire would be wanting to look at maybe 160, 170.
Yeah, the rate is all right. So Price at the non-strikers end. That was the last ball of some of Mia's over. He's bowled 2 overs, 1 for 25, and Finch is to bowl his third from this Ashley down road end. And Charlesworth has skied that.
It's gone big.
That's gone a very long way, away over the friends and family marquee, and again
towards the activation zone, I think.
In towards the far corner of the ground where the mural is, and I think the Ian Blackwell might be asking for a box of balls here, because that one's going to have taken a bit of a hit on the concrete. But Charlesworth certainly middled that.
I'm certainly glad there are no cars parked over there, Ian.
Yes, my car is behind the flats. I'm hoping someone's not going to hit a ball that far. So a 4th 6 of the innings by Gloucestershire. 4 6s and 9 4s already. Charlesworth on to 44. Somebody needs to bat through. Charlesworth might feel he's striking the ball well enough. He wants to keep attacking here. Gloucestershire 4 out on the leg side. Finch again to Charlesworth, just squeezes that to Matthew Waite at short third. There's no chance of a single. A different challenge for Gloucestershire batting first, when you kind of don't know really where you want to get to until the innings is a good way in. You might have had a thought about maybe 170. Finch to Charlesworth. It's a full toss just outside the off stump. Fired it all the way down to long on, but only get one. And Ollie Price, a chance to face his first ball.
The old maxim in T20 cricket is get to 12 overs and then double the score for a notional first innings target. But if Gloucestershire keep the wickets, then they'll be aiming towards 190 plus, if that maxim holds.
Yes, it's the wickets column that just is the point of anxiousness at the moment. Ollie Price waits for his first ball from Finch. Oh, and he's gone top edge with that as well, and that's going to be caught by Roderick. Finch has... Oh no.
Hold on.
He's saying... What's happened here?
Is there no ball for height?
Calls it as a no ball.
Or wide for height?
He's asked for the umpire has asked for the ball. Nope. Has it hit Price on the helmet? That's why
yes.
He's not going off.
Concussion check. And out comes the coach.
So it's clipped him off the helmet rather than the bat. Roderick's taken the catch just in case there was an inside edge. He's appealed, but umpire Blackwell has not given Price out. I wonder if, James, have you got a more full replay of that? So here is Finch in slow motion, of course. It's clearly gone
off the grill, off the top of the grill, the visor, almost
off Ollie Price's helmet. So there will be a brief stoppage. I should say at this point, if you didn't know from earlier, England did win the Test match by 115 runs against New Zealand, and Gloucestershire's women had a very good win here against the Worcestershire Rapids women in the earlier match. Worcestershire getting 101 for 6 in their 20 overs, and Gloucestershire with 70 from Becca Halliday, 17 not out from Becca Halliday, powering their way to a victory by 7 wickets. Got some good support from Izzy Patel at the end of the chase. Price is just being checked over. I'm sure there'll be a new helmet that's been brought out for him. Chris Powell just checking it fits all right, and Price is happy with it.
Just been a moment for the batsman, Ben Charlesworth, also just getting a drink there.
So, as is the way of things, the helmet that's been struck is taken away. And there are 2 balls left in the 12th over. And you would think that Price will at least want to have at least 1 or maybe even 2 sighters from Finch before attempting anything too aggressive. In fact, he gets a pleasant full toss on his pads, which he can just run round to long leg for a single.
That was a very friendly delivery by Adam Finch. Leg stump full toss for 1.
D'Oliveira standing away with his bowler. How they might attack Charlesworth here. 45 off 27 balls, 3 4s and 2 6s for the Lancashire-bound Charlesworth at the moment. Finch from the Bristol Pavilion end outside the off stump, very wide. Charlesworth had to really reach for that, and Finch gets the applause for only giving away a single from his captain. So Finch has bowled 3 overs for 26. Finch and Taylor have now bowled 6 of their allotted 8 overs. So 12 overs to go, of which, in theory, 6 might be spin. Unless we're going to see Ethan Brooks, which I think we might, from the Ashley Down Road end. He hasn't bowled yet. In fact, he's only bowled a limited amount of overs in the tournament. But I think that is Brooks at the far end waiting to come in.
I agree with you, Ian.
To the left-handed Charlesworth.
So here is Brooks from the Ashley Down Road end. Charlesworth waiting for him, and that was high, and Charlesworth just brings that down into the leg side, into the mid-wicket for 1 run.
And it's a no ball.
No ball as well.
So a free hit to follow.
Bowling number 77, Ethan Brooks. The umpire has signalled the first one was a no ball, so the next delivery is a free hit.
So Brooks to start the first legitimate ball of the over, potentially. And that's been hit past him, cross-batted shot out to long off for 1.
That was quite wide too, wasn't it?
It was.
There's a couple of those recent ones where batters really had to stretch.
Had he left it, it could have been wide enough to be a wide, and that's the brings up the Gloucestershire 100 in the beginning of the 13th over. Charlesworth again on strike. He reaches for that through point, and batsman cross, and there is 1 run.
Said early, Brooks's brother Henry was here at Gloucestershire earlier in the season, got injured in the championship match against Lancashire, as I remember recall, and then went back to his parent club, Middlesex. A bit more control from Brooks off that last delivery. First one was very loose, wasn't it? The one that was called as a no ball.
So Brooks at the top of his mark from the Ashdown Road end, coming into Ollie Price. Ollie Price waiting for it. Attempting a cross-batted shot through leg side, but didn't get the ball away. And Gareth Roderick picks up. And has he just taken one on the hand there, Ollie Price?
He's in the wars at the moment, OJ Price. That's not another one on the helmet, is it?
Oh, it could be. I thought he was taking his. I thought he was pointing at his hand to begin with.
James might just allow us to see that delivery from the other end. And they're happy with if it's come off the helmet, depending on where it's hit him, it may, if it's come off the peak at the front, maybe he's happy that it doesn't need to be replaced. He's played it up into the grill. So it's been an odd start to Ollie Price's innings, to say the least.
As we were, the coaching staff are now off the pitch, and Brooks is resuming his over again to Price. Wide-ish, but Roderick standing up, just taking that quite comfortably.
He's hauled this over back, Henry Brooks, after a wayward start.
And again, Brooks bowling to Price, and Price unable to get that away. That's the end of the over. It's 101 for 4 after 13.
Yes, so there were the stands. Charlesworth and Jack Taylor, 59 for the 4th wicket. Elsewhere, it's been a question of little bits and pieces. And Worcestershire back to spin from this Bristol pavilion end. Sikandar Raza to return. 2 overs for 11. And Charlesworth on 48. It's going down, there he goes, going down leg side, but he's a bag of tricks, this fella. He might be 40 years old now, but he's...
If you're good enough, you're young enough.
Oh yeah, and every ball looks to be something different.
Yeah.
Charlesworth doesn't pierce the field there either, and he forces that to extra cover. D'Oliveira inside the circle. 170 would be a good score from here for Gloucestershire, you feel. Raza in, and Charlesworth in the air. He's clothed that just as well, because there's no fielder inside the circle on the leg side, so it drops very safe, and he'll get 1. Awkward to get away, Raza, isn't he?
It really is. Just wondering, as a batter, how do you play that?
He's got the ability to bowl this sort of almost a short ball that might, it's not a cutter obviously, but it's short enough that it's almost like a little seam up ball.
Yep.
When it's back of a length, just to hurry the batter a bit. Goes back to over the wicket to the right-hander. That's quite flat too, to be fair, and that doesn't pierce the offside either. Boundaries just dried up a little bit in the last couple of overs. Chances want some new gloves, either that or maybe a drink. Ryder spins himself a catch. 3 inside the circle on the offside, saving 1. Ollie Price tries to pierce the gap past the man at short extra, which he does. They'll want 2, but there isn't one on the arm from Finch down on the boundary, and they'll have to settle for a single. So 1 ball to go at the 14th. Charlesworth needs a single for his 50. Has around the wicket to him, and he's slammed it straight to long off, and the catch is taken. It's a good catch too by Adam Hose. Raza has his wicket. Charlesworth is out on 49 as he was at Northampton, and Gloucestershire critically perhaps lose a 5th wicket at the end of the 14th over. It's 103 for 5.
Looking to bring up his 50 with a positive shot, and didn't take into account Hose standing at long off. He took a comfortable catch in his midriff, and that's the end of Ben Charlesworth.
Well, he's top score, but he's very angry at getting out. You can tell by the way he's taking his gloves off and carrying his hat back towards the pavilion. So Price, who's had a bit of an unsteady start with 2 blows on the glove, 2 blows on the helmet, and James Bracey in to join him at number 7. And 6 overs to go.
Price doing a bit of gardening out in the middle there, just tapping down with his bat. Brooks at the top of his mark, and everybody's ready. Brooks now running in. Play and miss, and Roderick does the tidying up.
He's dicing a little bit, isn't he, Brooks, with his line. He's very wide outside the off stump, but it's just wide enough, or only just wide enough to avoid being called as such.
Yep. Brooks again, and that's a straight, and Brooks just gets a hand to that, take the pace off it. And mid-off comes round to field that.
He felt that too. A bit like the Rapids captain Claire Boycott did it on today when she took a catch and was then wringing a hand afterwards.
So Bracey just making his final preparations to face his first delivery.
Didn't bat on Friday. Didn't bat at Leeds either, so I feel a bit short of time in the middle at the moment, but
or a good rest. Brooks to Bracey then. That was a very wide ball, but Bracey gets that past short third, and that's 4 runs.
It's a welcome boundary from a Gloucestershire point of view. Wasn't the most aesthetically pleasing shot, but he found the gap. Just out of the reach of the dive of
here's Brooks
Cashy Valley
to Bracey. And Bracey just knocking that into the leg side, and they cross for 1, and they get no more than that.
Waite just doing some limbering up. He's got 2 overs potentially left of the 5.
Brooks from the Ashley Down Road end to Price. That should be a wide. It is a wide. And Brooks looked most aggrieved.
Well, that was very wide.
It was extremely wide.
I think if umpire Chantry had given him the benefit of the doubt on one of the previous ones, he couldn't do that there. It was almost on the next strip.
Brooks again then. That's a bit more straighter that time as a quick pick up and throw. The batsmen are through with no dramas.
Good backing up by Bracey. Answered the call straight away. Gloucestershire get something over 160 here. They'll be, I think,
in the game.
They're in the game at that.
Yeah. So Brooks to Bracey then, and Bracey plays out through the offside, and cover Pitt does the fielding and brings that in, and that is one run.
Worcestershire in the main have done, if they've had an expensive over, they've tended to make up for it with a wicket, and if they haven't taken a wicket, then some of their bowlers have bowled economically. Waiters bowled 2 overs for 15, Tom Taylor 3 overs 2 for 20, Finch 3 overs 1 for 26, Basamir 2 overs 1 for 25. Perhaps he might not bowl out. Raza 3 overs 1 for 13 has bowled well, and Brooks has bowled now 2 overs for 13. Might just be a bit of a check as to. He's put a piece of paper back in his pocket. I wonder if that's a note about Bracey and how he might attack him. This is Raza's last over. Pitched up. Oh. Bracey tries to go for the cut. It was just a bit too full. That's where this guy causes batsmen problems, because just that slight variation of length, and the one that's a little bit quicker than you think. That's tossed up, and there's a sweep from Bracey. Raza wants an LBW, he won't get it. And there was no bat, so just a leg bye. Nine runs off the last over. But every time there's a really bad one, Worcestershire seem to have come back with an economical one, or one that's got a wicket in it. Price cuts.
Lovely shot.
That's a good shot. There will be 4 for him there, because the fielder on the boundary on the offside for Price is very square, and that was very much in front of square. No chance of Brooks cutting that off.
Great shot, Lee Price.
Important boundary. Out to the Kennington Avenue side of the ground, where sprinting the spectators either standing or sitting in their own chairs. That's tossed right up, and a good stop prevents them taking a single. That's good work from Kashif. Raza hides the ball again as he starts his approach, and Price uses his feet to get to the ball. One thing about 2, but Adam hoses onto that quickly, and we'll have to settle just for a single. So Worcestershire off this, have got 4 overs left. Do they go back to Osama Mir at all, or do they risk bowling 2 overs of Matthew Waite, 1 of Brooks and 1 of Finch, which they could do? Actually, Taylor's got 1 left as well, so they've got enough options. They don't need to go back to Mir. Raza into Bracey, clipped into the space on the leg side. They'll take a comfortable one, but Brooks is coming in, and that's not a great throw, but he's got it away quickly, and there'll only be a single off the last ball. So Raza finishes with 1 for 19 off his 4 overs, and there are 4 overs to go. 119 for 5. So Taylor has 1 left, Waite has 2, and Finch has 1, and I would suspect those will be the 4. And then, of course, you're made to look a little silly by the visiting captain, because he's brought the spin of Osama Mir back into the attack. I think that's a risk against these 2.
Mir from the Ashdown Road end then to Bracey, who knocks that to short third, and Gloucestershire will get 1.
Perhaps they're working on the theory here that if the ball is travelling slowly towards the batter, they've got to make their own pace on the shot. And if the ball is soft, that gets harder.
Yep. Might be more of a risk trying to put extra pace on it. So Mir then to Price. And Price was looking to really give that the heave-ho through leg side, but didn't really get much on it.
Yeah, you've got the old in-out field here. 3 saving one on the offside. Everybody out on the leg side other than short fine leg on the other edge of the circle.
Here's Amir, who sidesteps to the crease almost in his delivery stride, and Price sweeps that round to deep mid-wicket, and there's one run.
So I think Ollie tried to go for the big pull over the leg side boundary there. Didn't middle it and only got a single. He could have just tapped it 15 yards into the leg side and got the same outcome.
Yep. Mir to Bracey, and Bracey goes for the reverse sweep and doesn't get anything on it.
It's odd to see Bracey playing that shot. He's championship cricket, you'd never think about that.
No.
But in this format and at this late stage,
Quick thinking
in the innings.
Mir to Bracey, and Bracey miscues that slightly, and it brings long off was in the hunt there. Can't really call it a dropped catch. He was still a fair way from it, but
Adam Hose, it was coming in off the rope. Bracey hits this very high. Hose, does he get to it?
No, I don't.
It's a really good catch if he holds on to that.
Mir to Bracey then, and Bracey does get hold of that, and it plugs in the field. It's deep square leg. I think Sikandar Raza does the tidying up.
He want to get 2 out of that, so Mir's got through his 3rd over, and Gloucestershire 6 off it, 125 for 5, 3 overs to go.
They've got to go some to get 160 from here in.
35 off 3. You need a big over from somewhere. So, I'd say Somerset, was it 137 on Friday? They want more than that. It's going to put a lot of pressure on a bowling unit which is effectively a seam bowler short, and therefore the spinners have got to do an important amount of work. But what can they conjure out of these last 3? Matthew Waite to bowl his 3rd over from the Bristol Pavilion end. Fired in at Ollie Price, who will get down the other end for a single well before Ethan Brooks can think about throwing down the stumps at the non-strikers. And Waite wants a change for Bracey. He wants a man at long on and mid-off up inside the circle, I suspect.
Bowlers conference.
Yeah, with the captain.
Yep.
Needless to say. So a little bit finer for the man at deep square. So 4 out, same principle, 4 out on the leg side and 4 saving 1 on the off for Bracey. Waite to bowl to him, and he's gone aerial towards long on and caught. Comfortably taken. And another wicket goes. Finch with,
I think I just did Bracey for Root.
On his records, 1 wicket. Osama Mia 1 wicket. Raza 1 wicket, and now Waite jaws him. And it's Hose again with the catch. And Bracey departs for 12, and Cameron Darawal, well, he can hit a long ball. We've seen that. And he's probably got as much chance as anybody in this situation of just pulling out a couple of big blows.
For Gloucestershire, number 73, Cam Darawal.
As any of those potentially below him in the order. 126 for 6. Feels as if Gloucestershire are a bit short here.
Light, yes.
Only 2 scores over 20 on the card. Charlesworth's 49 and Jack Taylor's 26. 3 others in double figures, but Worcestershire chipped away. And Waite to Darawal, who will certainly go for his shots from the word go, and he'll pull that away to deep square for a single. Ollie Price's 12, and I don't wish to be disparaging here, it's been quite a scruffy 12. What with his blows on the protective headgear, 2 of them, and some injudicious shots. That's a bit better from him down the ground. Again to hose for just a single. I wonder if Gloucestershire are going to have to bowl Worcestershire out to win this game with this sort of total. Certainly the bowlers have to really be on the game, on their money. Wait. Into Darrow once again. He'll squeeze that. They'll look for 2, and he's been sent back, and quite rightly. There was never a second run there. Ollie Price didn't fancy trying to make a second run where he'd have been run out halfway down. And Darrell gets another single. So it's a good over for Worcestershire this, with only 4 singles and a wicket. And wait, then to complete the 18th over. Price goes for the ramp, and that's a clever shot.
A lovely shot.
He's got that one right. Just spotted it being full enough and played a little paddle behind square. Nothing that short third could do about that. Important boundary to end the over. And 133 for 6, 2 overs to go. Could they somehow, we need to get, I would say 150 minimum would be a psychological barrier. They get to 160, they'd be doing really well from here.
And it will give the bowlers something to defend. 150.
Well, they're going to keep Mia on. Interesting.
So Mir to Darawal. Here he comes. And Darawal knocks it out to deep mid wicket for 1.
Yeah, he didn't middle that really. Clothed it a bit.
Yeah, no timing in that really. So Mir to Price then. And Price going for the big heave home, not timing it quietly, and almost a leading edge past the bowl, over the bowler's head, going out towards long on for 1.
Almost the safest place to hit that. If you're not middling it,
yep,
you're guaranteed to get a single and almost guaranteed not to get out.
Mir to Darawal. And not middling that either, and just knocks it out to point for 1.
Oh, Worcestershire will take 6 singles or take 12 singles off the last 12 balls from here.
Every day.
So this is where Somerset got to on Friday. Almost 136. They got to 137.
Mir to Price. And again, Price just being tucked up there after that's a bit being done for room.
Gloucestershire looking at this one saying pace off, you know.
Yep.
I wonder if they would have liked to have had Graham van Buren available as well in this
yes,
11 to really increase the spin options. They've got, several as it is.
Yeah. So Darawal to Darawal facing Mir, not getting that away at all. And that'll go down in the book as a dot.
4 off the over at the moment. Worcestershire have squeezed the potential from 170 down to 160, maybe down to 150.
Mir to Darawal. Darawal just rooks back onto his back foot and takes that out through like a deep point for 1. 5 off the over, off the penultimate over of the innings, and Gloucestershire are 138 for 6.
So they've scored 26 off the last 4, and in T20 terms, that's not many. You know, some sides you've been seeing getting 40 off the last 4, maybe. Now, okay, they could still do that with a big last over, but Wally Price is going off here. He's
finger.
Yes, he's got a problem with his finger. So Price, and looks like it might be his left hand, which is his bowling hand, but he'd be a key bowling option. And here is Duan Janssen walking out to replace the retired Ollie Price. So he's really been troubled by blows to the head and the fingers today. So it's all about boundaries really from here. What can Gloucestershire muster? 150, so it would be a psychological barrier to get by if they can. So for weight, 3 out on the leg side, on the rope in front of the mound stand. And Darrowell to face the first ball of the last over, and he goes down the ground. That's a good hit, that'll be 4.
That's 4 runs.
That was in the slot, and Darrowell stood up and forced it down the ground for a welcome boundary. That front leg is so far out of the way there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just gave himself enough room to wind up and club it back past Matthew Waite. So even with Adam Hose and Adam Finch back on the rope, that was literally right between the two of them. Darrell will try again. Waite to him. It tries the same shot, but it doesn't quite get the power, and Hose can come in off the rope and keep them down to a single. So Janssen, who bowls left arm, he bats right-handed. What can he do? Well, he's got 4 balls really.
Made a nice little cameo last week against Yorkshire and got some decent runs.
Well, even one big blow here would be handy.
Yep.
Waite to bowl to him. That's clubbed pretty straight and pretty hard, but equally Finch is on the rope, and that went too straight and too close to him to get any more than 1. And Waite is trying to keep them playing in the V here. They can't go across the line to him. That's what he's trying to achieve. Only 3 balls left. Darrowell. Waite springs off that run. It's a very short one. Darrell's pulled that into the leg side. It might drop safe, and it has. They're going to try and come back for 2. It was a smothered sort of stop from Isaac Mohammed out there, but they've come back for a second run. Never quite looked like it was going to be a catch.
No, just bounced, just too safe.
Well,
Yeah,
just in front of him.
Yeah.
Not by much.
Did well to smother it though, Mohammed.
So 2 balls left. Darrowell still on strike. 8 off this over so far. Waite. That was a full toss, and Darrowell's hit that big, but straight to Hose, and he's caught that. The 3rd catch for him, right on the rope. And he just made sure that he didn't overbalance, and Darrowell is out off the last but 1 ball. It would have gone for 6, no question, without the fielder there. But the 3rd catch for Hose, and Darrowell departs for 12.
A number of starts through the Gloucestershire middle order, but apart from Ben Charlesworth's 49, there's nothing really there to write home about. And Darrowell, another one to make a start. And unfortunately, from a Gloucestershire point of view, Worcestershire take his wicket without doing any damage.
So if you look at that, Matt Taylor's going to face the last ball. So Darrowell 12 off 9, Bracey 12 off 11, Ollie Price retired, hurt 19 off 22, Jack Taylor 26 off 21. They've Worcestershire have bowled well today. Matt Taylor's at least got the last ball away. They're going to try and run two. Hose is coming in,
and that's good running.
Taylor's got back for 2, so they've done well to manufacture that off the last ball, and 148 for 7, for 8 rather, I think for 7 technically. Depends whether you think that Price is retired out or retired hurt. On my card it says retired out, so technically that is 8 wickets down. We'll check that with the scorers during the interval, but it feels as if Gloucestershire will have to bowl very well to win this game from here. 148 they've managed to tot up, which is more than Somerset got, but less than Jack Taylor felt on Friday was a winning score. Overall thoughts on that Worcestershire bowling performance, Phil, and the Gloucestershire batting?
I thought Worcestershire brought it back well. There was a danger when Charlesworth and Taylor were just beginning to go, and they were recovering well from the losing 3 early wickets, that it would get away from Worcestershire a bit. But with the help of Raza and Matthew Waite, Adam Finch, they brought it back well, Worcestershire, and they've got a good battery of bowlers to back up their batters, and it's going to make for a very interesting chase.
So here's the Gloucestershire card in full. Interesting that Worcestershire didn't. So the most expensive over cost 16, which then that was in the power play. Other than that, they kept a lid on things consistently through the innings. Hammond bowled Finch 18, Short bowled Tom Taylor, no score. Phillips called Kashif, bowled Tom Taylor 6. Charlesworth caught Hose, bowled Raza 49. Jack Taylor caught Roderick, bowled Osama Mir 26. Ollie Price on our card is retired out 19. We'll check whether that is retired out or retired hurt with the scores in a moment. Bracey caught Hose, bowled Waite 12. Darrowell caught Hose, bowled Waite 12. Janssen not out 1, Matt Taylor not out 2. Only 3 extras, 1 no ball, 1 wide and 1 leg by. 148 for 8. So good discipline from Worcestershire as regards the extras. And the bowling figures: Taylor 3 overs 2 for 20, Waite 4 overs 2 for 33, Finch 3 overs 1 for 26, Osama Mir 4 overs 1 for 36, Raza 4 overs 1 for 19. Very difficult to get away, only conceded 1 boundary, and Brooks 2 overs for 13. There was no weak link in that Worcestershire bowling lineup today.
They bowled really, really well. Yeah, they really did.
So 149 is the target. We'll be back with you in about 10 minutes for Worcestershire's chase here at the Seat Unique Stadium as Gloucestershire try and defend 148 for 8.
Okay, Gloucestershire require 149 runs to win to make it a double in the double header against Worcestershire Rapids. Thank you for your support so far. Hope you're enjoying the day. We've got the competition winners to announce very soon. You could be walking away with one of 10 free Vitality Blast Gloucestershire shirts, courtesy of sponsors Hire. We'll announce the winners at the start of Worcestershire Rapids innings. They go in search of 149 off 120 balls. Okay, it's the Thatcher's Apple Roll competition to win in crates of Thatcher's Gold. We've got our 2 teams lined up and ready. The rules are pretty simple. They're in teams of 2. The first person has to roll the giant inflatable apple that looks slightly deflated. One of them's been pumped up fresh, that's good. Pass and around our cricketers on the far side. And then the second person takes the second leg, does exactly the same. First past the post wins wins the gold. Let's introduce the two teams. They're here. They're on the outfield. Let's give them all your encouragements. Right, so who've we got this near side? Right, so here we go. So we've got Tim, who's the best man. That's it. Hello, Tim, from Cheltenham. And then we've got Jay on his stag do, getting married to Chloe on the 29th of June. This is Team JP Stag. Give them a warm round of applause. Lovely costume. Very nice, very nice. Very weathered gloves there. Bubble wrap, I won't ask. Offset nicely by the brown shoes as well. Very nice, very nice. Okay, right. Second team, Melissa Story's fan club. All right, our own Melissa Story. Part of the women's team, of course. This is Adam and Freya. They're from Wiltshire. Running for Melissa. Okay, one person with a woo there. There we go. All right. Good luck, guys. Decide who's taking the first leg. It's going to be Adam, and it's going to be Tim. Come on, best man, you've got a big role here. Wedding's in 3 weeks. Got a lot to organise. Can you bring home the gold? Or is it going to be Adam and Freya? We'll find out in 3, 2, 1, go! Ooh, bit of grandstand music today. Good technique, bit of side spin from Adam. Don't mind it at all. Careful of our cricketers, they're very fragile. Adam's in the lead. Oh, come on. Tim, come on. You've got ground to make up. The return leg is tricky. You're pushing against the wind. And it's pretty close here. Talking to Hannah Schooler, enjoying the race. Okay, here's the changeover. Freya, good speed. Come on, Jay. This is for Chloe. Come on, Jay. You want the wedding to be a success, Jay. Come on, this is a big moment. You want a crate of gold on your wedding day. Come on, Jay. Freya's stumbling a bit. It's very close. Freya's regained momentum. Freya looks like she's bringing it home, but there's a bit of a twist. Come on, Freya. And Freya brings it in for the win. Wow, what a race. Didn't mind that at all. Commiserations to JP Stag, but congratulations to Melissa Story's fan club, Adam and Freya, saw me through it. It's a bit windy. It was windy, yeah. I mean, you've got to play with the conditions ultimately, and you did that. Freya, wonderful return leg there. There was big pressure on you, obviously. I mean, you know, the crowd maybe wanted the Stag to win it, but you pulled it through.
Yeah, I couldn't let Melissa down on there. I had to bring her in.
Is she here? She's over there? Yeah, do you want to say hi? Yeah, big fans over here. This is good. Yeah. Well done. Many congratulations. We're going to give you a voucher. You get a crate of gold. Lovely. Thanks for playing.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for playing. Lots of action still to come your way here at City Stadium in Bristol. Keep the support coming for the glorious Gloucesters. 149 they've set Worcestershire Rapids to win. It's going to be tricky. You've seen Gloucestershire's bowlers causing carnage here on Friday nights. Can they do so again? We'll find out soon. Please welcome back match umpires, Ian Blackworth and Jack Chantry. Scorers for today's match, Adrian Bull and Philip Mellish. Match referee, Steve Davis. Worcestershire Rapids opening batters, number 18, Isaac Mohammed, and number 15, Captain Brett D'Oliveira.
Rob Scanlon announcing the two Worcestershire openers on their way to the middle. Young Isaac Mohammed, the only left-hander in the Worcestershire team. And I'm pleased to say that Ollie Price is out on the field. We did ask the scorers about whether he was retired out or retired hurt, and the message was that they'd asked the umpires the same question, and the reply was, for DLS purposes, retired out. Not that I think that DLS from a weather point of view will come into effect, but that was the decision that they made. 149 is, so therefore the Gloucestershire total is 148 for 8 technically. And Dwan Janssen, I think, probably with Matt Taylor to open the bowling.
Sponsored by the Keynsham Courtyard, number 36, Matt Taylor. So the Rapids need 149 to win. At a rate of 7.5 runs per over.
The umpires have asked for the floodlights to be turned on. It's not very grey, but I kind of understand that this is the most convenient time to do it. And they're just waiting for a moment here, perhaps while they do just click into action. Umpire Chantry in position, and all yours, Phil.
Taylor into Mohammed, and there's no run.
He's got a clunk on the helmet there, first ball. It's been a day for this. And Van Buren coming out with something for Marshall DeLong. That's a tablet of some sort. Why is he needing that, I wonder? Ollie Price, to say, he's out there. He's got some
strapping on his finger, doesn't he?
Black tape around his fingers on his left hand, but hopefully he can bowl. It's just bruised, or the webbing's a bit split, I don't know. I can tell from our position, but a blow this time for Isaac Mohammed on the helmet on the first ball of the Worcestershire response to Gloucestershire's total of 148 for 8. So looking at the bowling options for Gloucestershire, Taylor, DeLanger and Janssen, and then really it's Ben, if you want any other seam bowling, it's Ben Charlesworth and then the spinners. So Jack Taylor, Ollie Price, Darcy Short.
If Ollie Price bowls.
Yes, I think Price would certainly try to. It's not his bowling hand that was hit. And he's certainly out there so that he can. He's not being penalised for not being on the field. There's the ball, returned by umpire Chantry. And after one dot and a short break, Gloucestershire have got to start well in this power play. Ideally with wickets, but certainly try and keep Worcestershire from getting a cheap over or two in the first 6.
So we are back, and Taylor's running in for the second ball of the over to Isaac Mohammed, and Mohammed just knocks that down into the leg side, and there's no short fielders in on the leg side, short in on the leg side, so Bracey comes from the wicket-keeper position to tidy up, and the batters get through for 1.
And Mohammed's only 18 years old, played a little bit in the T20 last year, born in Solihull. But he's somebody who they rate at New Road and who they think can go for his shots at the top of the order and give the team a bit of a platform. He's got his captain at the other end.
Matt Taylor to the eminently experienced Brett D'Oliveira, who knocks that into point. And Cameron Darawal comes in from deep point to tidy up the fielding.
And the field spreads once more. So Matt Taylor has a slip and 4 saving 1 on the offside.
Taylor to Mohammed. Scooped into the leg side, and Price does the tidying up at fine leg.
It's inventive off only the 3rd ball he'd faced.
Bit of a shovel.
It wasn't quite the Dilshan scoop, was it? It wasn't played with that force, just trying to help it on its way, really. Price is right on
the Solihull shovel.
Yeah.
So here comes Taylor then. And that's not away at all. Bracey tidies up, and there is no run.
Now, obviously on Friday, Ollie Price bought the first over from this Bristol Pavilion end, and he's limbering up at the moment. So, sore finger or not, he may well be in the action pretty quickly. And Darcy Short's been taken out from the slip, which is probably the wise thing to do.
So Taylor again then to Mohammed. And Mohammed looking to work the other way on the leg side and not getting it at all. And Darcy Short tidies up with the fielding. That's the end of the first over. And Worcestershire are 4 for no wicket.
And we are going to see Ollie Price bowl. The opening over from this Bristol Pavilion end.
To open the bowling from the Bristol Pavilion end.
He's got 4 wickets in the tournament.
67, Ollie Price.
D'Oliveira, Gloucestershire captain, to face. That's well outside the leg stump, but he backed away and just works it into the leg side, takes 1. And he'll know as well as anybody that they just need a solid start here, Worcestershire. They've got enough batting. They don't necessarily need to set off at a hair's pace with a order that's about 7. Running an order that's about 7. Down the ground from Mohammed. Miles Hammond is the fielder at long on. Just a single. Chairman's birthday today. Gloucestershire chairman.
Happy birthday, Mr. Chairman.
How else would you spend it than on the ground of your club? Price over the wicket, short, and I think Brett D'Oliveira trying to force that away through the relatively packed offside field, didn't time it, and Price is going to change his mind and come around the wicket to the right-hander, fires it in, asks the question, but he's not going to get the answer in the affirmative from Ian Blackwell. And with the target for Worcestershire, see on your screen, 149. Price with 5, saving 1 on the offside. Tries to fire that in. And both umpires today have been quite, if generous isn't the word, maybe lenient over wides. They've not been as sharp as some umpires over the calling of wides in this match. Price again. And again he asked the question, but
and that was a wide.
There we are. We've had about 4 of those instances today where you say something isn't going to happen and it does. Seven for no wicket, Worcestershire. Clipped in the air, but perfectly safe by D'Oliveira out to Darawal. Needs to be tidy over from Ollie Price. Only 4 off it, including the wide. But Gloucestershire have got to be a bit sparing with their spin and seam options today. They're probably a bowler down. They've picked an extra batter. And in that context, one option short without a Craig Miles. So even more focused then on the performance of this guy, who's been excellent in this first half of the tournament.
So Duan Janssen at the top of his mark and just adjusting the field to his liking before starting his allocation. So Janssen to D'Oliveira. Janssen in from the Ashley Down Road end. And D'Oliveira plays out straight, and that's 4 runs through long off.
It's a good shot. Wasn't that wide, he just was in the slot to be driven. D'Oliveira did.
That'll be the loosener.
34 years old now.
And another tweak to the field.
Delanga's coming over into the offside. She's got a packed offside field on the singles and a slip in.
So here's Janssen then. And D'Oliveira has knocked that straight into the air. And Hammond takes a superb catch at short mid-wicket.
He had to judge that really well. That went over a very long way. But Hammond gets the congratulations of his teammates, as well he might. It's going to be very easy to spill those. He's got to get himself in the right position. He's not coming over his shoulder, but he's backtracking. And even then, he's tumbling when he's taking it, but
he made it look very comfortable.
He's clung on, and D'Oliveira goes. So Kashif Ali in at number 3. He, at the moment, he's top of the averages for Worcestershire. I'm trying to talk a wicket here. He's top of the averages. 26.5 is his average. His highest score is 38.
New batter for Worcestershire Rapids, number 27, Kashif Ali.
It's Miles Hammond's 4th catch of the T20 campaign so far. Janssen's 13th wicket.
He's going to be difficult to replace in the second half of the competition, given his impact with the ball.
Here comes Janssen then from the Ashley Down Road end, bowling to Kashif Ali, who knocks that into square leg, and Joe Phillips is fielding. And there was one to the total.
This is Gloucestershire's last match, of course, in the first block. Worcestershire, this is only their 5th game. Their last game is at Northampton on Tuesday, and only at that point will the table have a full picture.
Janssen to Isaac Mohammed, and there was a bit of a cross-batted mow there by Mohammed, which he got made no contact with, and Bracey tidied up.
Still keeping the slip in. They are conscious that Mohammed is somebody who really does go for his shots. You've seen that, even though he's only faced 7 balls.
Janssen to Mohammed then. Short and straight through, and signalled a wide by the umpire.
At least it was a wide, not called as a no ball on height. Just trying to play that little, almost that scoop shot where you lift it over the infield. It races away down towards the straight boundary. Short's come out from slip now, and Matt Taylor's gone a little bit finer
as Janssen
short third.
As Janssen comes in from the Ashley Down road end, and Mohammed Rilli's get hold of that, and it's going to go safe out towards the extra cover boundary, and it's 4 runs. Just beating Jack Taylor to the boundary road.
That's that risk and reward balance, isn't it? He saw that big gap on the leg side. Here's a second look at it. Packed offside field. He's way outside the off stump, but he's played it into a massively empty area in this power play and picked up another boundary. Jack Taylor changing the field now. He's put a man back and he's pulled up the fielder who was at point on the rope inside the circle.
Janssen to Mohammed, and Mohammed gets inventive there. And it's aerial, and Price takes the catch. Out short fine leg. And as Mohammed was just threatening to loosen his shoulders and already start hitting the ball, that's Janssen's second wicket of the over.
That's a well-judged catch too, because while the Hammond one was coming down in front of him, Ollie Price had it coming down sort of half over his shoulder, and he's got that left hand to think about as well, but he probably wasn't contemplating any of that as the ball came down. Just his sole thought was clinging on to that catch, and Isaac Mohammed goes, and Worcestershire are 18 for 2, and Janssen with 2 wickets in the over.
New batter for Worcestershire Rapids, number 54, Adam Hose.
And this perhaps the key partnership for the Rapids. Adam Hose to bat at number 4. He's the only Worcestershire player to make a 50 in the tournament so far. So if it was in the game that they won actually on Friday against Glamorgan, so he's in. And Ollie Price, if we just take that catch, is to bowl his first delivery. That's down the leg side again and wide. Got to sort this line out. Risking.
You're dicing with it if you're bowling a leg stump line, aren't you? It's
stays around the wicket and worked away by Kashif Ali for a single out to Cameron Darawal coming off the boundary. So 2 wickets for Janssen in the 3rd over. That was a good one for Gloucestershire, albeit there were a couple of big blows in it. But Price now to bowl to Hose for the first time. Staying around the wicket to the right-hander. Hose works that to DeLunger, who's in there, to Janssen rather, who's in there specifically for that shot. That's the one where Tom Abel clipped a ball straight to Darcy Short on Friday night. And Tracy and another wide. Only Price just clocking up the wides at the moment.
No leniency there by the umpire.
I had to give him 1 at the start of the spell, but since then, not so. And again, and another one. And umpire Blackwell not endearing himself to some of the Gloucestershire members at the moment. So we've only had 2 legal deliveries in the over at the moment. Price has got to work that line out a bit better with a single. I'm pretty surprised if we see DeLunger before the end of the power play. Maybe at this Bristol pavilion end, we'll see. Price swept, but straight to Matt Taylor at short fine legs. There's no run there. Worcestershire not far short of the rate at the moment. Nothing to worry about from their point of view. Price with a wider outside the off stump, which isn't given. It's going to end up being a 9-ball over this. He's bowled 3 wides. And he completes it, and he's swept for 4. It's a safe shot. Kashif with a clear line of sight that says that was going down the leg side, just helped it on its way.
Time to announce our second round of winners of our higher vitality class.
27 for 2 off 4. Gloucestershire were 3 down by this point, and nothing much in the scoring. So wickets are the currency, Phil, aren't they here?
They really are, and you made the point earlier, Ian, that if Gloucestershire are going to win this match, then they're going to have to bowl Worcestershire out. And
they don't have to, but I think that's the most likely outcome.
Yes, quite. And Jansen is just tweaking his field. He's just having a bit of a conversation with Miles Hammond at the moment. And at the Ashley Down Road end, here comes Jansen bowling to Adam Hose. And Hose just knocks that into the short area on the leg side and through for a very safe single.
Just thinking about whether they could almost just try and knock the ball around for quite a long part of this chase. That might not quite work, might not be quite enough. You know, 5s and 6s all in singles is probably going to leave them a bit much to do at the end.
Jansen again, and good play and miss there, and taken tidily by Bracey.
As a goal, Jansen 2 overs in the Tower Pap. He's obviously got 2 wickets in his first over. He'd like another one here, and then you feel like back. Maybe use one somewhere in the middle if they need it.
Jansen in. And that's knocked straight to mid-off, and that's Jack Taylor with the catch. Kashif Valley.
What are we saying? So Jansen with a 3rd wicket. And Kashif goes.
And another wicket goes.
And could yet be a bit of a cliffhanger, this one, you know. I know it's not a massive total to defend, but sometimes these sort of scores tend to provide the most tense cricket.
A low-scoring thriller. Jansen 3 for 11 off 9 deliveries. And the new batter is Ethan Brooks. Elder brother Henry was on loan to Gloucestershire from Middlesex earlier this season for the championship.
Yeah, all this Worcestershire middle order, they've all got runs in them. How many? We're going to find out over the next hour or so. But Jansen continues to pick up wickets. Well, it's through a miscue like that, all by spluttering the stumps.
Here is Jansen then to the new batter Brooks, and High just played down with very soft hands for no run. Marchant de Lange tidies up.
He's like a wicket machine, isn't he, Jansen, at the moment?
It's 15 now for the tournament. The more he plays, the more the Gloucestershire fans realise what a great piece of business that was. Here he is, coming in from the Ashley Down Road end to Brooks, who tries to paddle that, and that's Matt Taylor takes the catch. Jansen's 4th wicket of the afternoon.
It looks a great bowling change, this. And Worcestershire putting themselves on the back foot, one might argue, with a 4th wicket down in the power play.
Ethan Brooks was caught by Matt Taylor off the bowling of Duan Jansen.
Did they Or did he need to go that creative that early?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There was time. And they're 120 runs behind with 15 overs left. There was plenty of time for Worcestershire to play himself in, for Brooks to play himself in. But that goes down as what might have been Ian.
Yeah. Raza, 4 for 11 off 11 balls. And
here comes Sikander Raza, the new batsman.
so Worcestershire don't have a batter in double figures yet on their card. Can Janssen finish his second over with another one?
Oh dear, 4 byes.
Four
wides. Good grief.
So what was the thought process there that ended up with that delivery?
Welcome to the middle, I suppose, and it's slightly awry, perhaps.
It was a wild ball,
Yeah.
call it, from Dwayne Janssen.
So Janssen in again from the Ashley Down Road end to Sikander Raza. That's down the leg side. That's another wide.
Right, so Gloucestershire have got to tidy this up.
They bowled quite a few wides in the last couple of overs. Is that the 5th wide in 2 overs?
So we've now got 11 runs on the total from wides.
No, that's not good enough.
11 out of 34.
And Janssen again then to Raza. And that doesn't get past Ollie Price at short fine leg. Raza goes through for 1. That is the end of the over, and Worcestershire are 35 for 4 after 5.
Well, he's taken 4 for 18 in 2 overs, Janssen. So it's been eventful. And Gloucestershire are not going to finish the power play with DeLong, as I wondered if they might. But they're going to bring Holly Price bowl 3 of his 4 overs in the power play from this pavilion end. And once again, he is still persisting with this round the wicket line to the right-handers. Raza preparing to face him for the first time. 35 for 4. Raza's squeezed that out through the offside. It's beaten the dive of Ben Charlesworth, and it's gone away for 4. There's enough room there. That was just wide enough. We've been critical of Ollie Price bowling too much on the leg stump or outside leg stump and tossing the wides up. That was a bit of overcorrection. He's got 3 men in the slot for that shot. It's forced out to the leg side this time. Darawal can get there quickly, and they'll only take a single. So the run rate, Worcestershire just about where they need to be. 7.5. But they are 4 wickets down, and Gloucestershire just need to keep taking wickets. That's the best way to try and extend this run of 4 wins out of 5. And Raza going to be sent back here. Darcy Short onto that quickly. You might see Short from this Bristol pavilion end as he bowled on Friday. Price in, that's again back of a length. And Ho's just happy to turn it out into the leg side to Darawal. Price to Sikander Raza. Again, that's very short, and it'll be a wide down the leg side. Too many drag downs. at the moment. Bracey waits behind the stumps again. That's just turned into that gap. It's a no risk single for Worcestershire in that situation. One ball left of the power play. I'll give you the comparative at the end of the over. Price tosses that up outside the off stump. Is that going to get through? It is.
Oh dear.
Janssen almost dived over it. I think he was expecting it to come off that wicket end. It didn't. And Worcestershire finished the power play on 48 for 4. 47 for 4, in fact. And Gloucestershire at the same point, 51 for 3. There really is nothing in it.
Nothing in it at all, is there, Ian?
One wicket is possibly a fractional advantage to Gloucestershire, but it's not meaningful when you consider the depth of Worcestershire's batting. And we are going to see DeLonge for the first time now from the MATCHDAY road end.
DeLonge just adjusting his field and making sure that everybody's in the right place for him to his liking. Bowling to Sikandar Raza and straight through to keeper Bracey. Play and miss, and there is no run.
Try and if it's quick, they've got a long leg and a third man on the rope. So if it's short and it's going to go up in the air, that's one thing, right? You can.
DeLonge. It's a late cut through to third man, and Matt Taylor does the fielding.
Yeah, well,
keeps it down to 1.
If it's going to be back over length and climbing a bit, and Raza takes on the shot to play it deep into the leg side. Can they stop the singles, even though the field is there for them, and try and force Worcestershire to get a half bat or a top edge up in the air? Hose perhaps a little less likely to do that.
DeLonge to Hose, and Hose forcing that through point, and Cameron Darawal tidying up.
I think Hose may have worked out what his role in this is. He's got to be the glue of the innings.
Yeah. So DeLonge back to the top of his mark, and he's running in to Sikandar Raza. Then he bowls, and he just flicks it up into behind square on the leg side. Ollie Price running in, and there is 1 run. And that brings up the Worcestershire 50 in the 7th over.
Again, for a comparison, at halfway, Gloucestershire was 76 for 3. So
DeLonge then. Well bowled. Good bouncer.
That's a better bouncer. So that wasn't the Janssen bouncer was so short it left Bracey no opportunity at all. What's Bracey asking for here? Helmet?
Who's realising that discretion was the better part of valour there, and he ducked well underneath it.
Yeah.
Didn't want to wear that one.
Bracey wants the helmet. So I suggest that means.
Here comes DeLonge. And there is no run, and there's 3 off that over, off DeLonge's first over, the 7th, and Worcestershire are 50 for 4.
Yeah, that's the kind of over Gloucestershire need. A couple of those where they've only given away, say, 2 or 3 singles. And it just sneaks the rate up a little bit. I don't think Worcestershire will be too concerned at the minute, but we are now going to see spin at this Bristol Pavilion end in the introduction of Jack Taylor. Price has got 3 overs for 25. There are quite a few wides in there, 5 of them in all, in fact. So what can the skipper do? That's a new spin there for him. Raza just pushes that up to Darcy Short at long on. 4 overs at a run of ball would take Worcestershire to just shy of 6. Just be getting them halfway. They'd be just dropping off the rate a little bit, but they've almost got to minimise the dots here. If you're a Worcestershire supporter joining us on the Gloucester stream, right. Welcome to the Seat Unique. This is a 10-sold game. That's short from Jack Taylor. He's got some cover out on the rope. Joe Phillips will hurl it in. It will be 1. But we're going to maybe have a little period here where Worcestershire just try to manoeuvre themselves into a position where they know they can attack with a couple of batters who are a bit more set. Carved away again. That might be difficult for Phillips to stop, and it will be. It'll be a welcome boundary for Worcestershire. It's a good shot. Cut away by Raza. Phillips is the boundary rider on the offside, but it was too square for him and raced away for 4. Except it has quickened up a little bit over the last couple of days. That's pulled into the onside. It's going to be a catch. Oh, Hammond almost got it. It's going to run away just for 4, is it? No, he's just stopped it. Nearly a miracle catch from Miles Hammond.
There was a fabulous effort, even to save the boundary.
Pulled away in the deep. This is in slow motion. Let alone tracking it in full time, and it's a goalkeeper's type save. He's got something on it. Couldn't hang on, but at least he's managed to stop the 4. Taylor will try again. Way to get out of the over with a dot. Still conceded 8 though, and Worcestershire will take that at this point. 58 for 4 off 8. They're 10 runs behind on the board, having lost 1 more wicket. We haven't had a last baller here for a while.
No. Can't remember the last one, in fact, off the top of my head.
David Payne's win in the winning hit in the Sid Lawrence match last
Hampshire?
year. Yeah,
yes,
correct.
Yes,
probably was it.
So DeLanger to start his second over from the Ashley Down Road end, bowling to Adam Hose, who's 9 not out. He cuts out through third, and Matt Taylor does the fielding on the boundary, keeps it down to 1.
Just what you could do with nipping out another wicket here. These two just getting the measure of things.
DeLanger in again to Raza, and Raza just knocking it through, but doesn't get it past point. That's Darcy Short.
And because he throws left-handed, that's gone to his natural side there, and they would have known that that would have been a big risk in trying to
yes,
take a single to Darcy Short.
Very good close fielder. And here's DeLanger again to Raza. And Raza gets that high, and that's gone for 6. Ollie Price just was initially interested, but then realised there was no way he was catching that.
In fact, I think that was probably still going up when it went over the rope.
As it passed us, Ian, I think I went over the Hammond roof.
That's a very big hit. And you don't get any more than 6 for it.
New balls, please.
Yeah, out comes the box. And the umpires will have to decide what ball out of that box is the best choice.
Which one looks like 8.5 overs old?
It's a big hit from Raza.
Today there will be a signing session with the Gloucestershire men's and women's teams. Members and supporters are invited to meet the players, collect autographs.
Some handy runs in the tournament.
So stick around after the game and head to the Jessup room.
Generally in the 20s though, so this would be an appropriate moment for Gloucestershire to try and split these two up. last wicket fell in Jansen's second over with the score at 28. It's now 65.
Here's De Lange. And pitching it up, and the Hose just jabbed down on that for 1 run.
That's very nearly another wicket. Started a bit of friendly chat between De Lange and Raza at the non-striker's end. Almost the best response from the bowler.
Here comes De Lange again to Hose, and Hose knocking that into the leg side, and Joe Phillips comes in from deep square leg, tidies up. Hose just rehearsing that flick again.
Jack Taylor's opening over cost 8. I wonder if he might think about Darcy Short from this Bristol Pavilion end.
Last ball of the over from De Lange. And Raza not getting that away, but still good enough for 1. It's the end of the over, end of the 9th over, and Worcestershire are 68 for 4, chasing 149 to win.
Yeah, it's almost neck and neck on the board at the moment, and we are going to see Short. It seems with the 2 right-handers in, interesting to have a look at him even if only just for 1 over. Obviously he bowled his full allocation up at Leeds. He bowled a couple on Friday, although without a wicket. He's trying to keep Jansen's 2 overs back, I'm sure, but if these 2 get very much further, he might think about having to maybe use 1, or maybe 1 from Matt Taylor. Anyway, here's Short. Somebody just needs to move by the sight screen, I think. Somebody's stood up in the seating down below us. So this is the point at which you can kind of have a look and see where the 2 teams are. But Raza is increasingly well set here, and that's pulled, and that'll be 4 more. He's got that over Matt Taylor, who's at short fine leg. Bit of a drag down again from Short, and he's got inside the line and hooked it into a safe area for another boundary. He looks the danger man at the minute. Short to bowl to him. It's again pulled into the leg side, straight to Hammond. Out in front of the mound stand. Not as packed as it was on Friday night. But again, they're going to see a full game. Doesn't look as if there's going to be any rain issues, pleased to say. Short to Hose, who goes back into his crease, and he at the moment is just content to push the singles. It's almost like any ball that's a dot is a problem, but he'll just keep his partner rotating the strike at the other end. Short again to Raza. That's floated right up, and Raza says, OK, I'll take 1 this time, because we've got 7 off the over already. And that's just about what Worcestershire need at the minute. In fact, they're now above the actual rate you required. That big blow from Raza in the last over changed that. Short to Hose. Off the back foot once more, up to Jack Taylor, who's at long on.
Yeah, Worcestershire's Hose and Raza, they're just knocking it around nicely. Raza is 30 from 18.
Short in, and Raza will take 1. They might think about 2, but they'll settle for a single. Here we are at halfway. Worcestershire are 77 for 4. Gloucestershire was 76 for 3. There's nothing much in it, but it's a question of what happened from this point. Gloucestershire had Charlesworth and Taylor in. Neither lasted much longer. So Gloucestershire have just got to think about how is the best way to split these 2 up, get a new batter in at one end.
Yeah. So
Where are we? Where are we?
looks like Matt Taylor is
It's you. Kicked it out very nicely.
being given the ball now to bowl the 11th over of the innings. And will he hold the key to unlocking this partnership from a Gloucestershire point of view? Here is Taylor to Raza. And Raza, Taylor just fielding off his own bowling.
It is a very obvious tactic from Jack Taylor here with the in-out field. Everybody out on the leg side, everybody up, with the exception of Darawal, on the offside. So the offside inside the circle pretty well patrolled.
Taylor over the wicket from the Ashley Down Road end. And that's gone miles. That's 6 runs over backward square leg.
It's down by the club office. There are no cars in that part of the ground today. And we could be talking about another ball here.
That brings up the 50 partnership, 55 runs now between Hose and Raza. That's gone a long way.
Just past,
might be in the back garden.
It's Miss Paolo's ice cream. It's always a good thing. But another entry with the box. And another selection for umpires Chantry and Blackwell. Looks a lot slimmer than when I saw him last.
Yeah.
Perhaps he's gone on to the lettuce sandwiches. He was on those when he was playing.
Lettuce with perhaps a lot of bacon.
Maybe. Yeah.
So it's quite evident that Worcestershire didn't like that last ball, so they got rid of it in the best way possible. And Taylor continues from the Ashley Down Road end, bowling to Raza, who's 37 not out. And he forces and that's a dropper mid-off. And Taylor's landed awkwardly on his shoulder, on his right shoulder. Is that bruised pride or a bruised shoulder, I wonder?
He's clearly felt something as he's gone down.
He really has.
That's a second vain effort at a very spectacular catch. He probably would say...
Oh, that was his elbow. He landed on his elbow and judded up into his shoulder by the looks of it.
A bit of a stinger there.
Yeah.
But Hammond and Jack Taylor have now flung themselves and not managed to cling on to 2 pretty difficult chances. Hammond's one very difficult. That one a little easier, but not much.
Here comes Taylor then from the Ashley Down Road end. And Hose just forcing that away through point. Darawal tidies up at deep point.
Yeah, we're getting to the point, I think, now where Gloucestershire really could do with certainly 1 wicket, if not 2.
Absolutely need a wicket now, yes. This is a very settled...
Otherwise, Raza is going to police this chase to the conclusion. Now, particularly, it's his wicket that they need.
Matt Taylor then. Forced through point, and Darawal interested again. He's just coming in, tidying up.
Yeah, Hose has got, what's he said, 14 off 16. You can see that he's just trying to
drop anchor.
If not quite that, certainly just keep the score sensibly advancing.
Taylor to Adam Hose. Play and miss. More dots, please.
First time he's really had a slash at one like that.
That's the end of the over. That's the 11th over of the innings. Worcestershire are 86 for 4.
Yeah, it's not much more than a run a ball for them. So the only way that Gloucestershire can really try and increase the tension for these Worcestershire batters is to get a couple of them out.
Yep.
And just conscious that
returning to ball number 10, Jack Taylor.
Effectively a seam bowler like today. So Jack Taylor bringing himself back into the attack from this Bristol Pavilion end. And that was a bit of a more awkward one for Raza to deal with. They have just been the googly. And all he could do in the end was squeeze it out on the offside for a single. Taylor over the wicket. Hose goes in the air. It could be Jansen's, and it is. Important catch, not really the man you wanted to get rid of, but one of them will do. And a low catch taken by the tall figure of Duan Jansen, and Hose, who played very sensibly up to that point, is out. Clubbing Jack Taylor up to wide, long off, and that's not a bad catch either, to be fair. Tumbling to his left, didn't spin it as he went to ground.
A much sought after and desired wicket there by Gloucestershire. Jansen making a very athletic finish to that.
14 Hose made.
Really making sure. A great piece of fielding. That was the key to unlock the partnership. Gareth Roderick is the new batsman.
So Roderick in at number 7. Matthew Waite, Osama Mir, Tom Taylor, Adam Finch, the rest of the Worcestershire batting lineup. It's all about Raza, you feel here.
Yeah, he's holding it together.
Roderick, of course, at Gloucestershire until the end of the 2020 season, the COVID season. Joined Worcestershire in 2021. And he'll have faced Jack Taylor and Matt Taylor in particular, if they both bowl, and DeLonga on the county championship circuit plenty of times. And he's perfectly capable of playing that Hose role where you just, pick up the singles. Taylor to Raza. Appeal for an LBW, not given. Not had many LBW appeals at all today, have we?
No, it's perhaps on reflection. I think I would have given it out if I was the umpire, but upon reflection, it was possibly creeping down the leg side.
Taylor to Raza once again. That is the genuine leg break. Just spun a little bit. And we get one out to short. To short, and he bowled the one over from this Bristol Pavilion end. Went for 9. Gloucestershire could do with a couple of 4s. Overs wise. Pitched up by Taylor, who's crossed that it was too full. And Gareth Roderick able to get a single, but still a wicket for the skipper in his second over. 1 for 12 he has. So 90 for 5 off 12. Gloucestershire were 98 for 4.
Nothing between them.
It'll be very close now then. This is possibly a bit of a gamble, but you can understand why he's taking it. Jansen back, probably I would think only for 1 over.
I would think so.
You want to keep 1 up your sleeve, but if you get another wicket, particularly if it's Raza, that might feel like a big moment in the afternoon.
So Jansen 4 for 18 off 2. Facing the new batsman Gareth Roderick. Bowling to the new batsman Gareth Roderick. Here he comes from the Ashley Down Road end. And Roderick just knocks that into the leg side for 1.
He set off there as if he wanted 2, but Hammond was in
very quickly.
Very quickly. There's a lot of chat going on downstairs. I hope it's not spoiling your enjoyment of the cricket. You think people would actually want to watch the match, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you?
Well, who wants just to sit on the balcony and chat? You can do that anywhere you like. You can't watch cricket like this anywhere you like.
Matt Taylor up inside the circle again for that little potential scoop shot that Raza sometimes tries to play.
Here comes Jansen. And Raza just knocks that into the leg side for 1. And Jansen was almost going to field off his own bowling, but Joe Phillips picks it up and returns it to Bracey.
It is up above a runner ball, but not by much. Somewhere perhaps Gloucestershire have to find an over which only goes for maybe a couple of runs. Just to put the squeeze on Worcestershire a little bit.
Jansen to Roderick. And Roderick tried running that through third, but didn't get anything on it, and it goes through to Bracey.
There are all sorts of games you can have in T20. It's played on some of the test match grounds where the pitches aren't quite so central. You can get some big scores with a short boundary on one side. Here they try and put the wickets as central as possible, and you can end up with a game like this.
Jansen. And it's just run down to a gully position, and Martian de Lange tidies up.
I think Raza was always going to be scampering down to the danger end there. He knew as soon as Roderick played, it was almost sort of a tip and run kind of setup. Raza has hit 3 4s and 2 very big 6s in his innings. And not the highest score of the match yet, but could get there.
Here is Jansen to Raza. And that was wild, and it was a wide full toss that Raza just toe-edged.
And he's called it as a no ball.
Called as no ball. Over waist height, possibly. Let's take another look at this.
That last delivery has been signalled a no ball, so the next one is a 3-hit.
Oh, that's expensive. Not only the boundary, but the no ball as well.
What Jansen would do for a dot ball, what Gloucestershire would do for a dot ball now. That's a wide. Just seemed to have lost his length slightly, Jansen.
Almost conscious perhaps that this is a big over, and you say trying too hard? You can sometimes say that.
Yeah, perhaps.
50 or 44.
Jansen into Raza. That's a better delivery. That goes through. Play and miss. Bracey tidies up.
So Jansen not in his most economical today, but it's still 4 wickets in the wickets column. Jack Taylor's the only other bowler with a wicket at the moment. Worcester should get past 100. It'll start looking a lot closer for them, and they're very nearly there.
Jansen in, and Raza just knocks that into the offside, where Charlesworth tidies up, and there was 10 off that over. That brings up the Worcestershire 100 at the end of the 13th, and Worcestershire are 100 for 5, needing 49 to win.
Interesting to look at the remaining overs, what Gloucestershire got off their last 7. It was respectively 2, 9, 7, 6, 7, 5 and 10. So not one really big over in there, and they have to keep the lid on this Worcestershire scoring. Jack Taylor has bowled!
Jack Taylor!
Raza with a corker. Middle stump. What a delivery to pick out at this point in the game.
Is that going to turn the match?
Well, that's going to make it very interesting now, with the top scorer and the man who was well set gone. Let's have another look at this. It was the leg break, and it's a straight ball.
Just straight ball, just missed it. Played all around it.
Completely misjudged it. But he's out for 47. It's 100 for 6. And you wouldn't like to say where this is going now. You still wouldn't call it. Matthew Waite is no mug with the bat. He and Roderick, sensible county pros.
Worcestershire Rapids, number 6.
They'll know what's needed. and if nothing else, they'll try and get to 2 overs to go with a chance. That's what they want to do. Even if they have to think, okay, get to, say it's 18 and they needed 20 off 18, 20 off 2. Taylor in, Waite clips it down the ground for a single. They've got to keep taking the singles so that they don't need to have a real dart until very late. That's what they'll be looking at.
Got to keep those wickets in hand, though.
Roderick, with that square open stance of his, turns that into the leg side. Jack Taylor fields of his own bowling, stumbles as he gets to the ball, but he stops it being more than one. That was quite a moment for Jack Taylor. Second wicket for him. This is his 3rd over. Waite does that. In fact, that's a harrow cut. Very nearly drags that on. The you could hear was from the spectators at the far end of the ground, the apartment end, who would have seen how close that was. Taylor once more. Cut off the back foot by Roderick. That might go for 4. Phillips is on the chase. It's a great stop.
Piece of fielding.
They're going to get 2 anyway, but Phillips has saved 2 runs there with a real dive on a one-handed grab as he goes round the boundary. Roderick on to 7. Taylor just drifts that into the pads, and Roderick says, "Okay, I'll just take a single then." But a wicket in that over for Jack Taylor, and no boundary conceded. Importantly, so 106 for 6. 6 overs to go. What are the bowling options? Matt Taylor has 2 left. Ollie Price has 1. Jansen has 1. De Lange has 2. Taylor has 1 himself, and Short has 1. They've used 6 bowlers, so they've got enough options. And De Lange is being brought back. I think they'll hold Jansen's probably for maybe one of the last 3.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah. So De Lange then just making sure.
Can't afford a 10 anywhere.
No. Here's De Lange to Roderick. And Roderick just pops that up, and they're running through for 1. Just for a moment, Jansen was interested.
Target is 1, 4, 9. Remember, that's the important number to bear in mind.
To win. De Lange to Matthew Waite. In the end, that was well stopped by Bracey.
Where did that go off? Is that off the toe end or the back?
It came off something. Okay, yes. Almost seemed like it was a slower delivery.
I don't think Mark Short bowls slow.
One speed De Lange. Here is De Lange then from the Ashley Down Road end to Waite. And Waite's got hold of that, and that's out! Darawal with the catch, Jansen with the catch rather.
Misjudging the pace again, bowled into the pitch. Another important, not only a dot, but another wicket down.
So 107 for 7. And the nerves are jangling all around this ground.
Sama Mir coming out at number 9 for Worcestershire. So Taylor and Finch, the bottom 2, must slightly surprised that Taylor hasn't come out ahead of him. He has got a 50 in he's played a lot of T20 cricket, and there is 150 in 179 games. So I suppose there is a little bit of pedigree there somewhere, but it wouldn't be sort of a surprise if he was to really put back to ball with some venom here. It's not that kind of situation.
Here is De Lange then to new batsman Usama Mir. Who just knocks that up into the leg side behind square. And Joe Phillips comes in to tidy up the fielding. There is 1 run taken. Roderick on strike.
So I wonder, I mean, Roderick can't protect Mir, really. He's got to accept that he's got to produce his own singles, however he might choose to do it.
De Lange to Roderick. And Roderick, or tentative prod by Roderick, that somehow doesn't take the edge, and Bracey tidies up.
That's Matthew Lee downstairs, I think. Only one person who would
Thank
cry,
you, Matthew.
who would shout that. It's the last ball from De Lange, which Roderick tries to steer to third man and failed.
De Lange to Roderick, who just knocks that into the leg side, and deep mid-wicket Miles Hammond is coming in to tidy up the fielding.
It's a good over. That's only 3
Great
singles and a wicket.
And a wicket. 109 for 7 off 15.
Balance is literally right on a knife edge here. And it's made more so by the fact that Gloucestershire are kind of a bowler short.
Yep.
Matt Taylor's still got 2 overs left. So there are 5 to go. Matt Taylor can bowl 2, Jansen can bowl 1, De Lange can bowl 1, and Jack Taylor can bowl 1. That's probably the combination in some order. Taylor's going to bowl his last. He's taken 2 for 18 at the moment.
5 to go then.
Taylor in. Roderick cuts, and he'll get 1 out to Joe Phillips. The club have been very fortunate, is the right word, with the weather over their 3, 2 of their 3 big days of the season. The Women's International Friday night, and another double header here where the weather is playing ball and the umpire doesn't quite. Taylor's appeal for an LBW. Ian Blackwell, always, actually, one thing about Blackwell, he doesn't delay over his decisions. You know very early whether it's going to be given out or not.
Replay? Yeah, just outside leg.
Going down next side by quite some way, actually. Taking it again. Worked by Mir up for a single. Up to Darcy Short. Roderick's got to manage this, you feel, for Worcestershire a bit. 38 of 27. Taylor to bowl to him. That's a straight one again. He's going to just take a single into the onside. So 3 or 4 at the moment in this over. You'd be half tempted to have a fielder in at short mid-wicket, just to stop those, what you might feel are easy singles. But they don't want to give away really any boundaries at this point. Taylor in, Amir goes back, and that was 2 straight. He couldn't get a single off that. Taylor to complete his stint. That's too short, really. That's cut away. That should be Joe Phillips's, and it will just be 1 run. But it's only 4 off the over, and Jack Taylor finishes with 2 for 22. It's 113 for 7, 4 overs to go, and at this point Gloucestershire had 119, so they're fractionally in front, or Worcestershire fractionally behind on a par chase. De Lange has 1 over left, and he's going to bowl it now.
Too close to call at the moment between these 2 sides, and Worcestershire require 36 to win off the last 4 at 9 and over. Here is De Lange to Mir. That's in the air, and that's got Hammond interested, and he takes a catch, comfortable catch by Miles Hammond. That's the man you really want in the deep to take those type of catches. And Mir goes.
De Lange, he'd gone back to Walt's mark. I think he knew that Hammond was going to take that. It wasn't quite as comfortable, Phil, I don't think, as you would suggest. He got into the right position, and he has made it look fairly straightforward, but when they go up that far, they're not gimmies. They're not gimmies. And he's delighted with that. He's had a couple of catches today and one very difficult chance put down. So that will be Tom Taylor.
Trustworthy
sure. Yeah, he's good in the deep, Hammond. And now, well, he still wouldn't back it, I don't think, because Taylor is not a mug with the bat.
It's going to be obvious what what Worcestershire need is runs here, and if Taylor gets the levers swinging and gets going, then it could take it away in the death. Here is DeLange coming in from the Ashley Down Road end to the new batsman Taylor, and Taylor just knocks that into the leg side for one, and Janssen fields just inside the ring.
If they can get to 130, I mean, it's now 9 and over. They're really needing a boundary and over now, Worcestershire, and they've only got Adam Finch to come in at number 11.
DeLange to Roderick. And he's not that behind square, and Price does the fielding at fine leg, keeping it down to 1.
Could have been 4 that, if he hadn't have moved swiftly to his left.
As it came off the bat, I'm sure Roderick was thinking it was going to be 4. Price did a really good job there at fine leg to tidy that up.
It's been a tense-hole game, this.
Here's DeLange to Taylor. And into the leg side for 1, and Hammond running in from mid-wicket to keep it down just to the 1.
Talking to supporters ahead of the game on Friday, saying this felt a big weekend for Gloucestershire with 2 home games. Obviously the Derby game is always a big one, and then the following up against Worcestershire. I said if they could squeeze 2 wins out,
DeLange to Roderick,
and massive impact on the group. Every dot ball's getting cheered, understandably. Phil's brought 6 pens with him today. He just daren't think about possibly one of them running out at an important moment.
All the same colour. Here's DeLange to Roderick, just stance outside leg stump, and he's swinging into the leg side there. Hammond tidies up. That's a lovely piece of fielding between Hammond and Phillips. Hammond saves the 4, Phillips with the return throw.
So Marchant's taken 2 for 21. He's finished his spell, and it's 118 for 8. 31 off 3.
It's 10 and over, 10.3 and over.
I would think Matt Taylor to bowl 2 and Janssen to bowl 1. And this is where discipline is really important. You know, no wides, no balls.
They have to be accurate, they have to be tight.
Nothing really loose.
Yep.
All about
the discipline.
It would feel from here. So Jack Taylor has 2 wickets, bowled out. DeLange 2 wickets, bowled out. Janssen 4 wickets, 1 over left, probably the one from the far end. 31 off 3. But with, 2 seasoned county pros in the wicket. And Taylor on strike, pushes at that, and doesn't get a touch. What's his championship average this season? Tom Taylor with the bat. 21. So
you can bat.
It's not. He's not a rabbit. Matt Taylor to bowl to him. So worked into the onside. They'll want 2. Whether they'll get 2 is another matter. No, they won't. Good fielding. Well done, young Darawal out there. He's been in the deep on that side of the ground for most of the day. And he's got a good arm. And because he's so tall, he covers the ground to get to the ball so quickly. Right, they want to change in the field. They're pushing Ollie Price back to third man, and Janssen is up inside the circle at mid-on. That turns the ball to Roderick. It's too straight, can't do anything with that. Has to push it back up the pitch, and every dot is being cheered, and there have been 2 of those in this over already.
2 runs per delivery needed at the moment. 15 balls remaining, 30 runs to win.
Now, but you know that Worcestershire are a really competitive team. They won't give this up in any way. It's a good shot. That's pulled away. That will probably go for 4. It will. It's a clever shot from Roderick. Little bit of use of the feet with mid-on up. Gets it wide of Janssen, and it was always likely to evade the boundary rider on the leg side. It was well placed, and no way that Gloucestershire could haul that in. 26 off 2.2. Roderick batting on leg stump and moving across and trying to go for the ramp, and he's got it over the keeper. There's a chase down towards the rope, and that's gone for 4 as well. That's clever cricket from Gareth Roderick. Stepped way inside the line, and it's a reverse ramp. Not of any great power really, but Ollie Price couldn't haul it in.
Just got enough on it, Roderick.
And now 22 off 13. You need to get out of this over without another boundary. Roderick carves that away. That could be 4 more. Oh, and it is. Phillips can't quite stop it. And Roderick's gone 4-4-4 in this over. And now it's right back in the balance again. Gloucestershire look to be fractional favourites. Phillips is thumping the turf in disgust that he hasn't stopped that. And now it's 18 off 2.
It just felt like a change of momentum there with Roderick's 3 boundaries.
What do you do with the last over if Janssen bowls this one, which I think he's going to? Well, if you can get rid of one of these, that might make all the difference, particularly if it was Roderick. You've got to try and... It's not going to be easy to isolate Taylor on strike, because he will take the first ball. But Roderick has done his team a good hand here. He's stuck in there, and he's taken his chance in that last over. But this will be Janssen to bowl the 19th. You couldn't call it at all. Jack Taylor's just asking something of the umpire here. Is he asking about the cut-off time? I think there's
6 minutes left. Was that 7 minutes left? Or 17 minutes left.
So, what's the issue here for the Gloucestershire captain? Whatever Ian Blackwell has said, he's walked away. So, Johan Janssen to bowl the 19th over. What can he do? He could finish the game in this over, of course, but what can he do to try and leave for the last over?
So Janssen and Jack Taylor just sorting out the field, and Marchant de Lange goes down to the 3rd boundary, almost like a backward point boundary. Bowling to Tom Taylor. Janssen from the Ashley Down Road end. And knocked into the leg side, behind square to the vacant fine leg, and that's 4.
This is going to get tricky for the Gloucestershire captain from here. 14 only, and suddenly it's down to almost a run a ball now. And Worcestershire don't have to necessarily risk too much.
14 off 11.
Jack Taylor could do with 15 fielders. He can't have that.
Can't have them everywhere. Janssen to Taylor. And is that close?
Not close enough for
Not
Jack
close
Chantry.
enough.
There wouldn't have been much in that, I don't think. See where.
Was it height, I wonder? Or no, I pitched outside leg stump, I think.
Certainly worth an ask. 14 off 10. Where do they think that Taylor is likely to score? They're prepared to give him one on the leg side, which I still find is
pretty odd at this time.
Slightly odd.
Here's Janssen. And he just knocks it up to Jack Taylor at mid-off.
And he probably feels he's done his job there because he's got Roderick back on strike. 13 off 9.
This is tight.
Gloucestershire, they probably can't concede another boundary in this over.
Or if they do, it's over.
Well, it's not mathematically over, but it's...
Momentum.
Yeah.
Yep. So here comes Janssen then to Gareth Roderick. Roderick tried to get cute there, and there was an appeal for a catch behind, not given by the umpire.
It was a sound. I think it was off the flap of the pad.
Mm-hmm. But most importantly, a dot ball.
But Roderick knows where that gap is, you see, so Taylor's got to do this. He's got to put Ollie Price back at long leg, and he's got to bring somebody into the circle. So Short is coming up. What does Roderick do? Does he go for the crash over the infield on the offside? Let's see.
Here's Janssen. And a leg by, one assumes here, that was just signalled.
That was quite brisk, that last ball.
That really was.
Roderick did well to survive it. Now, only one ball left in the over.
12 to win.
So Roderick is on the strike, which is probably where he wants to be at the start of the last over. So what does Taylor do here? He probably, if he just blocked this, it probably wouldn't be the worst thing in the world from a Worcestershire point of view, because Roderick would be on strike.
And Taylor gets a bit on that, and then goes for 4.
More better than a block.
And that brings the target down to single figures now. And 8 required off the last over.
Yeah, that's a big over for Worcestershire in that situation. Taylor with a perfectly respectable shot. That was the repeal of the LBW. But Taylor has...
Four overs.
So Janssen's finished...
So
he's finished with... And my screen says 4 for 38, but we won't argue with that. 4 for 38. Matt Taylor's bowled the last over. 8 required.
It's going to be rolled by Matt Taylor. Worcestershire Rapids need 8 runs to win. Come on,
Roderick on 23. Roderick clipped in the air, straight to Jack Taylor! And Roderick is out. The tension rises another notch. A wicket for the Taylor brothers as they combine to get rid of Roderick. And Adam Finch is going to be on strike. Roderick goes to 24. It's 141 for 9. They need 8 off 5. With the last pair together.
Final over thriller.
I think he thought that might have been the shot that almost clinched it, but Taylor retreated outside the circle, took the catch. Now, Finch. He bats at number 11 for a reason, but that's not to say that in this situation, as we saw with Matt Taylor at Glamorgan, you know, a thick edge can be all you need. He doesn't bat a great deal in this format. But I say a thin edge can fly anywhere. 8 off 5. Last pair together. Matt Taylor to Finch. And Finch tries to get a single, and he will get a single to get Tom Taylor onto strike. 7 off 4. 2 blows from Tom Taylor's point of view. They could try and take 3 singles and take it to the last ball. I suspect they won't want to do that. Matt Taylor's got to keep his head here. No wides, no balls. 7 off 4. Tom Taylor waits for Matt Taylor into the offside. He'll take 1. And Phillips does the fielding. They've got to keep Finch on strike with a dot and try and 6 off 3. Can they get Finch to play say maybe a dot and then only a single, which would mean you have to hit the last ball for 6 to win it? 4 inside the circle on the offside. Everybody out on the leg side. Matt Taylor to Finch, who just dabs it into the offside and takes 1. They're going to keep in the game here, Worcestershire, aren't they? They want it to go to the last ball. They need 5 to win. 4 would give them a tie. They've got Tom Taylor on strike, who's the better of the 2 batters. 1 big hit would do it. Jack Taylor's dropping out at long off, and fine leg is up. The last but 1 ball, potentially. Matt Taylor in. It's clubbed down the ground. They're going to take 1. Jack Taylor will get that in. They've got to keep Finch on strike, and they do. That's what they wanted. 145 for 9 with the number 11 to face the last ball. 4 to win for Worcestershire, and typically a conversation between captain and bowler, brother to brother. Darcy Short and Miles Hammond coming in as well with a thought, and this is Glamorgan all over again, isn't it, Phil? Last ball to decide it. 4 to win. Matt Taylor edged 1 thin to win it for Gloucestershire on that day, and now he's on the other end of it as the bowler.
The only difference being is that Gloucestershire have the short third and the short fine leg in place to stop any potential edges going off the bat there, Ian. Here it comes.
Taylor to bowl the last ball. Worcestershire need 4. He bowls to Finch, who goes for the ramp, gets it over the keeper, but it's out! It's caught! Finch is out off the last ball. Ollie Price with the catch. And Gloucestershire have won. They've won by 3 runs. It was inventive from Finch. He tried to get the boundary that his team needed, but Matt Taylor, for the 2nd time in this competition, has won again for Gloucestershire off the last ball. One was the bat with the bat, and now with the ball by taking the last Worcestershire wicket. They're dismissed. They're all out for 145. Tom Taylor is left 14 not out, but Gloucestershire they've pinched a win really there from a position where Worcestershire looked probably 2 overs ago as if they, with Roderick in particular still in, were going to take the points back up to New Road. Gloucestershire have ripped the result off them in the last few moments.
What a finish. What a finish, Ian. And that momentum shift when Roderick hit those boundaries with just 3 overs left seemed to bring Worcestershire into the ascendancy, if not over the line. But then right at the last minute, Matt Taylor you wouldn't want anybody else in that position to do that, really. Matt Taylor, good heavens.
145 all out against 148 for 8. Sometimes you don't need 450 runs in a T20 game to make it interesting. Worcestershire had bowled, I think, pretty well in the first part of this innings. Mark Elaine just shaking hands with all the players, his own players and the Worcestershire boys as they come off. Big hug for Duan Janssen, whose spell in the first half of the competition has been so influential. 4 wickets today to add to his total in the tournament, giving him 16 at a ridiculous average. 16 wickets at less than 10 apiece he's going to finish with. And there's the board overall in the game. Charles Whitford, the top score for Gloucestershire at 49, and Raza with the top score for Worcestershire at 47. It's been a bits and pieces performance from them. Janssen, the star bowler in the match with 4 wickets, 2s for De Lange, for Jack Taylor and for Matt Taylor at the end. And sometimes it's about finding a way late on in a game, isn't it? Because Worcestershire, of the last 2 overs, needed 18 to win with 2 wickets in hand, and Roderick was still in, and you figured that they were probably even slight favourites at that point.
You would have fancied them to have done it, absolutely.
Gloucestershire pulled it round.
Yeah. And that's why we love this game. Good grief. What a game.
The Worcestershire scorecard then: Mohammed caught Price, bowled Janssen 8. D'Oliveira caught Hammond, bowled Janssen 7. Kashif caught Jack Taylor, bowled Janssen 6. That was all in his first spell. Hose caught Janssen, bowled Jack Taylor 14. Ethan Brooks caught by Matt Taylor off Janssen without scoring. And then probably the key partnership, the Raza-Roderick effort. Raza made 47 before he was bowled by Jack Taylor. That was a beauty, although he played a fairly indiscriminate shot. Roderick was caught by Jack Taylor off Matt Taylor for 23. Waite caught by Janssen off De Lange for 2. Hammond caught Osama off De Lange for 3. Tom Taylor left 14 not out, and then Finch off the last ball when he needed 4, caught by Ollie Price off Matt Taylor also for 2. There were 19 extras, including 13 wides. One might have thought that would have been important in the final analysis. And in fact, Phil, if Gloucestershire had lost, they would have looked at those wides and say we gave away too many free runs there.
Oh, absolutely, Ian, absolutely. And just I looked through the bowling figures. Matt Taylor finished his 4 overs with 2 for 26. Ollie Price, none for 25 off his 3. Duan Janssen, 4 for 37 off his 4. Martian De Lange, his fellow compatriot, 2 for 21 off 4. Jack Taylor for 2 for 22 off his 4. And Darcy Short, 1 over, no wicket for 9 runs. And yeah, the extras, but perhaps too many in the shakedown when they look back on it. But it makes for a tight finish.
It does, and one might argue in a way you could say they got away with it a little bit today by bowling more than they bowled. There was a 4 wides in there, so there were 9 wides delivered as individual extras, and 9 extra balls in a game that's 148 plays 145 could have been a loss for Gloucestershire, or could have been a tight defeat. But as it is, they go to 20 points. They finish their first block. Northamptonshire have the chance to add to their 20 points on Tuesday when they play Worcestershire up at Northampton. So that will complete the table in this group at the end of the first block. But Gloucestershire are 5 wins and 1 loss, and Duan Janssen has had a massive part, Phil, to play in getting them to that position.
He was a fabulous short-term signing, a replacement for Liam Scott. Liam Scott's got big shoes to fill when he arrives in Bristol in the next week or so, couple of weeks or so. And hopefully Scott has the same impact that Janssen has had in his short stay with Gloucestershire so far.
16 wickets for Janssen in the tournament so far. 2 catches as well today. We'll see our friends at Worcestershire up at New Road for the reverse fixture in the second part of the block. Thanks for James for his work on the cameras today, as ever. Thanks to you for your company. Hope we've added to your Sunday afternoon.
Pleasure in.
It's been a thriller here in Bristol, and Gloucestershire have won by 3 runs. Enjoy your rest of your weekend. We'll see you for the championship, which obviously continues with a meeting with our dear friends from New Road when the championship resumes. Commentary from that will be from our colleagues at the BBC, with Ed Seaborn leading the Gloucestershire arm of that coverage. That will be Gloucestershire's next first team game. Coverage of that on the stream, but on this particular Sunday afternoon, Gloucestershire have squeezed out 2 points in the Vitality Blast with a win over Worcestershire here by 3 runs. From Bristol, goodbye.